Down 7-3 in the second half. The Buccaneers rallied to tie the Rams.
Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking right side. He wants it. A comeback cut. It is caught by Kelsey. Touchdown! Kansas City. One of the greatest duos in the history of the National Football League. Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelsey. And the Chiefs have won this incredible divisional playoff.
Down 27-3 in the second half. The Buccaneers rallied to tie the Rams 27-all late in the fourth quarter. But with 42 seconds to go, the Rams.
Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking right side. He wants it. A comeback cut.
Here we go. And they keep it alive. Brady's going to hand it off. It's Fournette. He's going to take it to the end zone. 9 yards. This is officially. Here we go. And they keep it.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world, it's the award-winning, critically acclaimed Get Up and Go show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
And a happy Monday morning to you and yours. We're back in the saddle.
I need a copious amount of coffee to keep me awake.
All right, well, I'll get you a gallon of it.
What is this, the Twilight Zone?
No, it's not the Twilight Zone. What are you talking about?
What exciting new beginnings can we look forward to?
Well, we have a lot of exciting new beginnings. It's 6:07 this morning, Mr. Clock. Would you certify the time?
It's now 6:07 a.m.
6:07 on a frigid Monday morning.
You're as cold as ice.
That's about what the song says. It was about as cold as ice this morning, right, Bonnie?
Can't believe 39
Wow.
in Port St. Lucie. It is 39 right now in Port St. Lucie.
I just got chills thinking about that.
You're right, Evan. It's mighty chilly, but it, made me wear my winter jacket once again.
Mm-hmm.
My brand new beige winter jacket. Second time this year I get to wear the coat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of liking, the conditions are chilly, but I'm kind of liking that the rain is staying away.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's forecasted for the rains to stay away throughout the day.
I don't even want to hear the R word because of, this weekend I went away to Orlando and it drizzled a little bit at the Magic Kingdom. To top it off, it was cold, and there's nothing worse than a drizzle and cold weather, but it was nice. And overall, it was a good time.
So you had to keep moving throughout the Magic Kingdom, right?
Yes.
You had to keep
We did.
moving to warm.
We did.
Or stop inside a nice warm cafe, I suppose, and
We did.
take a break.
We did.
Or a pub to
Yeah.
take a drink.
No drinks. No
drinks to keep you warm.
No, definitely not. No drinks.
Would they provide some at Disney World if you wanted some? Or
You have money.
Or is I
Gotta pay
think
for it.
smoking is banned at Disney World, but drinking alcoholic beverages is
Yeah, they have
probably not.
alcoholic beverages in Disney. They do.
I don't think you can smoke in there
No,
though, right?
smoke-free atmosphere,
I kind of thought so.
which I like that.
Yeah.
Smoke-free, especially with all the children around.
All the little kids. And
Yeah.
you showed me some pictures of Mickey Mouse and Goofy
Mhm.
and all of the characters.
Mhm.
I had no idea you can get up so nice and close to a lot of those
The
characters.
parades were a little different this year because of COVID. They do them in like pods. So instead of this long Main Street electrical parade
Mhm.
and gathering people close together for an elongated period of time, they do them in pods. So it's like they have one pod come out with some characters on it, and then it goes by, and then that's it. And then it goes back to normal.
Now, did Mickey have to wear a mask
No.
for the sicknesses?
No, because he was way up high.
Did
in that-
Goofy? I think Goofy might have been a little lower and
He was a little
closer.
lower, but he was at least 6 feet away from people.
Did you see Cinderella too?
Sure did.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
I always remember being a little girl and seeing Walt Disney come on,
Mhm.
and they would show the castle and the
Yeah.
magical Cinderella, like
Yeah.
the princess.
Yeah. It was a great day on Saturday. Day started off, woke up early got up there Friday, went to dinner at the Ale House, which was right next door to the hotel. So we had a great dinner at the Ale House, went to bed, got up Saturday morning, got in the vehicle, and when we got outside, it was like a reality check because it was
Why?
just so cold.
So darn
Oh
frigid.
my gosh.
Were they in the 30s
Wow.
too then
Yeah, it was
this
cold
weekend?
up there. It
Oh,
was cold up there.
Stuart, this morning, at least we have 41. It's a balmy 41
Yeah,
right
balmy
here.
with a capital B. So we get to Magic Kingdom, we get all checked in, and we go through, and let me tell you, they have some really cool technology. I don't know how this is done. I have to show this to you, Bonnie, because I have my tickets on my phone. Okay, I still have them here. There's mine and there's Rachel's.
It reminds me of
Okay.
the airline tickets when
Yeah.
Topanga and I flew Allegiant last time.
But all I did was you take the phone and you stick it up
You
to the
Scan it, right?
Well,
Or
there's
do they
nothing to
do a little
scan on it,
scanner?
though. That's the whole thing. There's no barcode.
Because it's Disney and it's magical. It's
I don't
supposed
know
to be
how
magic.
the heck this thing worked, but you put it up to this like mouse looking thing, and then all of a sudden it lights up, and it's like wham, bam.
Hey, whatever gets you in, right?
Yes.
At least it gets you in.
Mhm.
How much did you pay for that?
We don't want to talk about that.
No?
It was over $100 a ticket, but it was worth
$100
it.
a piece.
It was worth it.
And it's going to be, I
Yeah.
guess, because you don't have the season pass to that one.
No.
Don't you have a season
I don't
pass?
have a yearly pass to Disney.
I thought you do have it to Universal or
Universal
something?
and
thought.
SeaWorld and Aquatica and Islands of Adventure.
That includes a lot of parks. That's
Yes.
pretty decent.
Yep.
What did you pay, like $400 for the year for that?
SeaWorld was $299 and Universal was $399
That's
a year.
decent.
That's very decent if you
And
go more than 4 times.
$2.99 a piece. That's
Yep.
per person.
Mhm.
Yeah, the kids had it too for SeaWorld.
Yeah,
I know
it's
they
well
always,
worth it.
Last Christmas, not
Mhm.
this Christmas, but the Christmas
Mhm.
prior, they got the season passes.
So we get into Magic Kingdom and we're walking down Main Street, and then we take a hard left at the castle, and there it is on the right-hand side. The first thing we go in, the Hall of Presidents.
Oh,
Remember I told you
saw
about
it.
that? I
You
wanted to
did.
go to it.
Are these all like wax figure presidents then?
They're animated. They're all
Oh,
animatronic, and they
man.
all talk, and it all looks so realistic.
Was there a particular president that you wanted to go and meet when you walked in? Any bright shining president you
Not
really wanted
really.
to see?
It was just a great presentation. I hadn't seen it in many years, but it was such a great presentation.
Did you see Abe Lincoln?
Yes,
'Cause
and
he
he
would be-
talked.
I would love to see
Yeah.
that.
He spoke in his mannerisms, and they had Trump, and they had Barack Obama, and they had Joe Biden, and
Yes.
they had just every single president in history of the United States.
How tall was Abe compared to Donald Trump? How tall is Honest Abe?
You know, now that you mention that, I would say Donald Trump's animatronic was definitely taller than a lot of the others.
Did he look woolly bully and kind of burly too?
Yeah, he did.
He's got that kind of burly.
It
look
was
to him.
very, very lifelike.
Oh, yeah.
It was very lifelike.
And did his mouth kind of talk like? Did he have like the round sort of mouth like they do with him on South Park
Mhm.
with his
Sure did.
animation?
Sure did.
Oh,
Sure
yeah.
did. It was really cool. So we did
Oh,
that.
gosh.
Then we got out of there. And then, of course, in my infinite wisdom, I said, all right, let's go to the haunted house. Forget it.
I would be all about that.
Well,
Did
it
you
was a
do it?
1 hour wait.
Oh,
So we didn't go.
that's haunted enough.
Yeah,
It's
that was
haunted when
haunted
you got to
enough.
wait in line.
So we went further back, and then we went to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. That's a roller coaster.
Oh,
Now, I'm not one to do roller coasters, but I will do Big Thunder Mountain.
I gotta hand it
Rachel
to you
did not like it.
because it was cold. Wasn't it cold getting on the roller coaster?
Yes.
But isn't Rachel the roller coaster one in your group?
So.
Sometimes.
She
huh?
was on the wrong side of the cart. She should have been on my left side, and she was on the right. And the mistake she made was looking outside the cart and looking down.
Oh, yeah.
That did not sit well.
Did it go straight? Did it go like up slow,
Yeah.
slow, and then
Yeah, and then
straight down?
just
Yeah.
like that.
Kind of like those roller coasters want to do.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some
Yeah.
scary ones.
Yeah.
We went on scary ones at SeaWorld.
Mhm.
They were, the upside down and whirly twirly.
That's way too much for me.
And this one was called Thunder
Mountain. Big Thunder
Mountain.
Mountain. Big
Yeah.
Thunder Mountain. So we did Big Thunder Mountain, got off of there, walked around, and then we went to Pirates of the Caribbean. Arr!
That's
Yo
a fun
ho ho.
one. I remember that one at Disneyland,
Mhm.
where I think that one is older. They
Mhm.
have the real authentic,
Mhm.
where you ride through the river and you see all the pirates up above.
So we went through Pirates of the Caribbean.
Did any pirate come in and try to toss you in the water
Arr! No.
or try to take over the ship?
But there was something that both Rachel and I did not remember in Pirates of the Caribbean. There's a drop
Uh-huh.
in Pirates of the
uh-huh.
Caribbean,
Wow.
and it goes completely dark.
Oh,
We both did not remember that.
yeah.
Rachel grabbed onto my arm like no tomorrow. I lost all the feeling in my right arm for like 60 seconds.
Man, and how long did it stay dark? How long were you in this moment?
I
of
want to say
darkness?
maybe 20 seconds.
Like you're in a tunnel and
Yeah,
you're
it was
in
weird.
darkness. It's almost like you
Yeah.
can't. It's hard to breathe, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it was
when-
weird.
Yeah.
It was just weird. So we went through that, and then we got out, and then we went over to It's a Small World.
Oh yeah.
And did this. I swear, if I could have counted how many times I heard "It's a small world after all," I'd have been a millionaire.
Did you take a ride on one of the swirling teacups?
No, I
Don't they
don't
have
do
the
that.
teacups
Oh
in
no,
there
that isn't happening
while
for
you're
me.
hearing "It's a Small World"?
No, no. Daddy, don't do that. No, sorry. No.
Was Snow White there
Yes.
on occasion?
Yes. They had all the characters there and
Oh,
everything.
I would love to meet Snow White.
They had all the characters and everything.
Yeah.
We did this 3D thing called PhilharMagic, which was really cool. It was like a 3D movie presentation, and you put on these 3D glasses and stuff like jumps out at you.
Uh-huh.
It's really cool.
I want to get some 3D glasses to have at home.
Okay.
I would love to be able to
You'd be seeing 3 of Gary.
buy, 3 of him and, watching a movie. Wouldn't it be fun watching any movie you wanted to choose, like in 3D in the privacy
They
of your
used to
own
have
home?
that 3D TVs.
I bet they do have the goggles. I want
Yeah.
to get those goggles where you can kind of like go anywhere.
Mhm.
And it would be fun to like jog in place at
Mhm.
home with the goggles on,
Mhm.
like as you're running through Central Park
Yeah.
or Paris or something.
So then, let me see here. What else? We, finished up, and then we went to dinner at California Grill up at the top of the Contemporary. We started with breakfast
Yeah.
first in the Contemporary Resort.
What a view you had!
Oh my
I
gosh,
see
it
from
was
that. Was
beautiful.
that the California
Grill.
Grill? Okay,
That's
and
at
that
the top
was
of the Contemporary where the monorail goes through the
kind of
hotel.
on top of everything there.
Well, it used to be called Top of the World.
And that's what it should be called,
Right.
right?
They
Why
changed
would
it to California Grill.
How did California take
Couldn't
that whole
tell
thing? I
you
mean,
why.
this is Florida.
Couldn't
It
tell
should
you
be
why.
called Florida Grill
Couldn't tell you
or
why.
Wisconsin Grill
New
because
York
I'm from
Grill,
there.
whatever grill you
New
want to
Jersey
call it.
Grill.
There you go. Call it whatever you want. Just don't call it late for dinner. So we had a great dinner. They brought us a couple of glasses
California.
of champagne
Oh,
and something that, I was blown away at the service. Just, it was impeccable.
what I
It
like
was.
about your trip too, Evan, you had it all kind of written down. You had it all
It was
so
organized.
planned.
Yeah, it was
like
organized.
It was a well-oiled machine,
Yeah.
and it sounds like nothing really went awry.
No,
like
not at all.
everything went right on
Not
your
at all.
trip. The pictures are gorgeous,
Yeah.
by the way.
Gatorland was the next day.
Yeah,
That's a whole nother story.
had a whole lot of fun at Gatorland.
I'll tell you about Gatorland
Wow.
in the next break coming up here.
I hope nobody got bit by a gator.
No, but
No.
Rachel,
She tossed a chicken to the gator. No.
let's just say she fed the gators. She
Oh.
held a gator.
Oh my
she
God.
sat on a gator's back, and I have the pictures to prove it. That's all
Wow.
I gotta say.
She was like, man, she could start her own wildlife show.
I stayed
Rachel.
far enough away. Listen, being married to her is enough of a wildlife show.
Yeah, I know. You get pretty wild over at the 9
Oh
household.
man.
The neighbors got to call and tell you to turn
Yeah,
down the
every
music.
now and then they got to tell us to turn it down. But man, let me tell you, you could not get me close enough to. I'm sorry, but just she
How close did she get her face to one? Did she?
like that close.
That's like, did she kind of kiss the gator
No,
on
she
the little
didn't-
mouth like
she
I
didn't
do my
wanna-
kitty?
she didn't wanna
Not
do
the
that.
mouth, but I kind of kiss my
I
kitty. on
said
the
to her, I'm like,
forehead.
why don't you just kiss the damn thing? And she goes, oh no, I'm not doing that. So,
Oh
but
my
anyway,
gosh.
it was interesting. Well, I'll tell you more about Gatorland here coming up after the news. It was a chomping experience.
Yes.
It is 6:20 on a Monday morning, a very frigid Monday morning on the Get Up and Go show. We're back in the saddle for you. It's time for news. Bonnie is standing by with the headlines this morning. Good morning, Bonnie.
You bet, Evan. Yes, then those freeze warnings are up to this morning in much of Florida and North Florida, and frost advisories are posted for parts of Central and South Florida, with those temperatures forecast to drop into the 30s in areas like Vero Beach. Need for homeless shelters is great. WPTV's Joel Lopez has more.
I try not to be out in the cold. I might freeze to death.
For people like 29-year-old Kalen Cox, he's tight on supplies. What do you have to kind of get you through the night?
A blanket and that's it.
Veterans like John Kavanaugh, who's been homeless for 38 years, he gets creative to survive.
Oh, I keep warm for years and years and years. I use laundry soap from laundromats, and I put it on my clothes, and I keep it in my pocket, and it keeps me warm.
The two are friends and say they look out for each other. But organizations like The Source in Vero Beach are also ready to roll into action with their mobile shelter.
As you know, in the Treasure Coast, public service transportation shuts down at, I think it's 6 o'clock on Saturdays, and I believe it doesn't even run on Sundays. So that's why the bus is pretty unique and pretty powerful, because that we can get to them.
The bus provides 20 sleeping pods, a bathroom, and a safe place for people to keep their belongings. And of course, on nights like tonight, a warm place out of the elements.
We really kind of designed the bus to be a 365-day shelter for people that are in need, because in Florida, any day it could be torrential weather, it could be torrential rain, it could be extreme heat, and then it could be extreme cold.
The bus runs on a first-come, first-served reservation basis, and in less than a year of operation, has served over 160 people in need of shelter.
They're just people too, and they're doing whatever they can to survive.
The Source is also gearing up to launch a second mobile shelter, as well as an affordable housing complex in Sebastian, which is expected to house some 50 people. Reporting in Vero Beach, Joel Lopez, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Miami Beach police are looking to find who's behind anti-Semitic flyers posted around the city. The flyers some residents found outside their homes yesterday state every single aspect of the COVID agenda is Jewish. The season is over for the defending champion Tampa Bay Bucks.
Down 27-3 in the second half, the Buccaneers rallied to tie the Rams 27-all late in the fourth quarter. But with 42 seconds to go, the Rams made a couple of plays to set up a game-winning field goal and defeat the Buccaneers 30-27 to end Tampa Bay's season. Quarterback Tom Brady afterwards.
Yeah, we're down a bunch, and a lot of guys made a bunch of different plays to get us back into it. You know, they just made.
So it will be the Rams advancing to host the NFC Championship game against the San Francisco 49ers next weekend. Covering the Buccaneers in Tampa, I'm Jason Barringer.
And in other divisional round playoff games, the Kansas City Chiefs outlasted Buffalo Bills in overtime 42-36 yesterday. A luxury cruise ship bound for Miami is now in the Bahamas to evade an arrest warrant over unpaid fuel bills. The Crystal Symphony was scheduled to dock on Saturday, but diverted when the warrant went out. Crystal Cruises is being sued by a fuel company for $4 million. Lastly, a new mural honoring Gloria and Emilio Estefan has been unveiled in Miami. Little Havana. Local artist Dysam 305 painted the giant mural depicting the power couple of Latin pop in the 1980s when they came out with smash hits such as Conga and Rhythm Is Gonna Get You. Work was unveiled at a Saturday event attended by city officials and the couple's son, Naib Estefan. The foundation also recently presented another mural to salsa artist Celia Cruz, who is also Cuban. Yes, we mentioned that the Kansas City Chiefs did pull off an incredible overtime win over the Buffalo Bills. 42-36. Patrick Mahomes throws a touchdown in their first overtime possession to Kelsey to win it. One of the greatest quarterback performances of the year from both teams. The Kansas City Chiefs move on to the AFC Championship game against the Cincinnati Bengals next weekend. News time is at 6:25, and we'll have weather and traffic together next.
626 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie, what's going on?
Well, it's nice on this Monday morning for traffic. We are not seeing any accidents whatsoever right here. No kind of tie-ups, no debris in the roadway at the moment. So everything is looking good if you are heading out. And then if you see something, say something throughout the morning. Tell us at 220-9788 at 220-WSTU. And a chilly bones, only 39 degrees in Port St. Lucie. And right now in Fairbury, Nebraska, way up there, it's 41. Here's our weather at WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls for a cold start to your Monday morning. Temperatures starting off in the 30s and low 40s under mostly clear skies and some patchy fog mainly inland. A frost advisory remains in place for Okeechobee County until 8 a.m. This afternoon, highs in the low to mid 60s with plenty of sunshine. Tomorrow, morning temperatures in the upper 40s, afternoon highs in the low 70s, increasing clouds throughout the day, then late hours possible, continuing overnight. Wednesday, an area of low pressure moves across the area, sparking scattered showers and storms, highs in the mid-70s.
I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
It is 6:30 on the Get Up and Go show on a frigid Monday morning. Let's do our viral videos. So there's a TikToker by the name of Sammy Haig who posts videos of himself doing all sorts of different tricks with his trumpet. Yes, with his trumpet, Bonnie.
Okay. What
Blowing
kind of
his
tricks?
horn.
Is it some amazing tricks that does he play his trumpet out in 0-degree weather and press his lips on the trumpet piece?
Well, in this particular, it's funny you just made that sound.
Yeah.
Because in this viral video, he's playing the trumpet in a bowl of Jell-O.
Wow.
He stuck the trumpet in the Jell-O, and this is what it sounded like. Here it goes.
You know what? That That looks fun. I want to play that at
Oh
home.
my God.
That looked like a whole. Anything with Jello doesn't it just make you feel delightful and like you want to play with it?
Well, hold
Even
on.
with your trumpet.
Here's him putting the trumpet in chocolate pudding. Yes.
So that's what the trumpet
That's what it sounds like in chocolate pudding.
with your chocolate pudding.
Yes. And finally, here's soapy water.
Sounds like a trumpet in the bathtub. You could take that in the bathtub and play.
I'm sorry, but that's just somebody that has way too much time on their hands. Way too much that needs to get a life.
But the video did go viral.
It did.
So,
I guess.
I wonder where he's going to be playing his trumpet next.
I don't know.
He should take it on like the top of a high sky rise, like a
Lord have
New York
mercy.
City building, and put his trumpet in something in there and louder.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you. So just I'm not going to dwell on this very long. So like I was telling you earlier, we went to Gatorland the second day.
Gatorland.
The
Now,
weather was worse.
I've never been to Gatorland.
Weather was worse. It was way
Yeah.
colder.
So like I asked you on Friday, were the gators kind of docile
No.
in that weather?
No.
Docile seeming?
No, and it's funny because I thought about what we spoke about, and they just milled around like it was nothing.
Whoa.
Like it was 85 degrees out.
And
there were gators that were 15 feet long.
They were walking around. They were walking around,
They were in
looking
the
at
water.
one another. And
They were in the water.
Ooh,
They were in the water.
sounds-
So they had this first show. It's called Jumperoo, where they I'm sorry, but I just in my humble opinion, I kind of feel like I'm taking your side in this. They kind of, I don't know.
Don't tell me anything I'm going to be depressed about.
No, I just want to say I just don't like. I don't know if I'm using the right word, exploiting.
Mm-hmm.
But they dangle chicken over the edge and they make the gators jump up for the chicken.
Okay, but the gator will now if it's going to get that chicken.
Yeah, it will.
So
I just didn't like
that. Doesn't sound
that bothered me a little bit
Did it
for some
really?
reason. Yeah,
Yeah.
it did, and not too many things bother me.
That's why the gators weren't docile then. That answers. That's why they knew there were whole plump chickens
Yeah.
up there,
And I mean, these were juicy looking chickens.
and they were getting their exercise.
Yeah, they were getting their exercise.
Yeah.
So
Did
I
you
don't
ask
know.
one of the gators if you could have some of their chicken?
No, because I didn't want to stir up the gator.
Slice me off a thigh,
No, or a
No.
breast or something. I
you
don't know.
You definitely don't want to
No.
take the chicken away from
No,
the gator.
I
now.
didn't want to do that.
Did anybody? How close did the hands get to the gator's mouth when those
Pretty-
boys were dropping
Pretty
the
damn
chicken?
close.
'Cause,
Pretty close.
What if they misconstrued
Yeah.
and grabbed your hand instead of like the chicken?
Yeah. So then Rachel actually fed an alligator. They have this thing where you feed the alligator. They sell you 3 fish for $10. Okay.
Okay,
3 fish for
that's
$10.
not bad, right?
No.
Because
Well, I can understand the money goes towards, buying food for the gators.
it's
I
kind of
get
like
it.
you got to buy the lettuce for the giraffes when you go
Exactly.
to lion country.
Exactly. So the fish is only about this long, and it's about that thin. It's a long, like I don't know what it is, but they give you the fish in like this boat
Mhm.
that they serve French fries.
I wonder
in.
if they were smelt.
I don't know. I'm not a fishing guy.
The way you described it,
Yeah.
reminded me of a smelt we used to get in the
Mhm.
northern Wisconsin, the smelt runs.
So they tell you to feed this wire. The fish are dead. They tell you to feed this wire in the gill and out the other gill yourself. And then you take the wire and it clips to a metal clip up above.
Okay.
So you've created a lasso.
Yeah.
Is what you've done.
That's like you would when you used to carry the fish home on in the olden days.
Mm-hmm. Right.
All on
The
one.
reason being is so when the gator bites down on the fish, it's going to pull the wire off the clip on the one side, and then you just pull the wire out of the fish, and it stays in the gator's mouth.
And it gets all fish,
Yeah, it
not
gets
the
all
wire.
fish and no wire,
Huh.
which is it's a great system.
Do they
Safety.
teach you how to do it correctly?
Yeah, they show you
before
how to do it.
it?
Yeah, they showed Rachel how to do it.
Wow.
So she got to do that. So that was the first show, was the Jumperoo show.
Yeah.
Then the next show was where they bring out I gotta remember. They bring out these like poisonous snakes.
Ooh.
They
Ooh.
brought out
Really?
a diamondback rattlesnake.
Wow. How was it huge? Was it
It was
large?
it was a decent size.
What color?
I don't know, like brown,
Like a brownish,
Yeah.
bronze
Yeah.
brown.
And then they brought this other girl down, and they put a tarantula in her hand.
Oh, how old was the girl? Like a little girl?
She's like middle aged.
Oh, a middle-aged.
She was like 35,
woman?
40 years old.
How did she handle that? Was she?
I don't know.
What? How could she? I couldn't do it. I mean, I no.
I don't know,
Oh,
but that was freaky.
Yeah.
That was just plain downright freaky.
Was she close by you? Was she sitting pretty
She
close
was,
next to
I
you?
want to say probably 20 feet over to the right.
Did they dangle the tarantula over her head first?
No,
and
but they
kind of freak
made her
out?
stand there, and they put the tarantula, and she just stood there like it was nothing, and then she starts petting the thing.
I wonder if she was worked for them and she pretended to be a part of the audience.
I don't know. She could have been a plant for all I know.
Yeah.
But they say the tarantulas are poisonous too.
Yeah. But I
So-
think there's a way they can take out the poison glands. Maybe that's,
Yeah.
of course, what they probably did.
So we
I'm
saw that
sure.
show, and then the final show we saw was the alligator wrestling show.
Yeah.
That's where Rachel got to actually sit on the back of an alligator and
Ooh.
get a picture.
Now, and then did you have to wrestle the alligator?
No,
Oh.
absolutely not.
Yeah, the pictures you sent were incredible. That's a good sized gator she's sitting on.
The guy that was in there, that there was a whole bunch of alligators around the moat, and then in the upper levels, the sand. So the guy gets down in the moat and he grabs one gator. He picks any gator he wants by the tail, and he pulls the gator up on to the sand.
Yeah.
And then he starts doing, he like jumps on the back and pushes its head down. And then they show you different things they do, and the strongest part of the gator's jaws. And then he's sitting on the back, and he bends and puts the gator's head right here.
Yeah.
And then he does this, just holding. And I'm like, dude, you got a big set of stones to do that.
There's supposed to be, I think, a part of the gator's bottom jawline side that you can kind of hit that'll kind of stun them for a little bit. I remember watching this wildlife show. This guy would swim in the swamps with them, and it looked so dangerous, but he had a way of touching the gator like on the bottom of its jaw where the gator's head would go back and make it all docile and stuff.
There's something they do when they're touching the gator. I don't know if it's underneath, like you said, or on top or something, but it's not very difficult to hold the gator's mouth shut, because the power is not in opening the jaw. The power is when it closes. That's where all the power is.
It has that like a outer resistance going. So it's hard closing.
So it's powerful when it
its
goes
jaws.
like that. But the jaw is not that hard.
Wow.
Very easy.
Did the jaw open when she was sitting on that gator?
No,
She
because
was-
what they do is they tape the
the
they
jaw
take the
was
electrical
sealed.
tape. Yeah, they tape the electrical tape around. They're very
Yeah.
careful and very, they don't abuse the animal. But to watch this guy in the gator pit move the gator around, and this gator weighed like a gazillion pounds.
Did it whack him with its tail?
No, but they said you got to be careful though
Yeah.
to watch the tail, because the tail is really super powerful.
I bet it is. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to be hit with a gator tail.
I-
Oh no.
It's okay to eat gator tail, but don't get hit by gator tail.
Ooh, you go flying. A little dainty girl would go like flying right into the audience.
That would be something though I would recommend Gatorland. I think Jaden in Topanga.
Yeah,
I think
they'd like
Jaden.
it.
I think Jaden would absolutely go nuts.
Yeah.
I think he would absolutely love Gatorland.
So that's right by Disney World.
No, it's off of Osceola Parkway.
Oh.
So if you're going north on the turnpike, you get off at exit 249, make a left, go to John Young, and make a right, and it's just down on the right-hand
That
side.
doesn't sound too hard to get to.
No,
then.
it's really super. It's very, very super easy to get to. Very moderately priced. If you buy your tickets online in advance, it's like half price for the tickets.
Mhm.
But I think Jaden would just absolutely love it. I really do.
He loves his dragons and the
Uh-huh.
dinosaurs, and he's not the most fascinated with gators, but I'm, if we saw that sort of thing, I'm sure he would be.
Especially if he can get his picture taken with a gator.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he would go crazy.
Like Rachel was in the picture holding
know.
baby gator.
Yeah, she was all giddy.
Little baby gator.
Yeah, she was all giddy when it came to that.
I've seen a baby gators out somewhere. I can't remember where I was in Florida, but these were out in the wild. But you want to be careful when you see the baby ones because
Yeah.
mama's not too far.
That's right.
They're
Yes,
cute.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hi, good morning. You're on the radio.
We used to sit up on the lake bank at the golf course and take jiffy puff marshmallows, the big ones, and throw them out in the water, and the gators would swim up to them. And when they would hit them, they would think they were eggs. First of all, they didn't know they were marshmallows.
Oh wow!
But when they look at them and they turn sideways and they hit them with the jaws, it sounds like a shotgun going off when it comes down. Wow, man, it's an incredible sound that you hear.
Yeah, their jaws are very, very powerful.
Would they eat the marshmallows then? Did the gator eat? Because that would be.
Oh, they love marshmallows.
Really?
Because I think they think they're eggs. But who cares? They swim over there and they eat them and they go. But you got to use the big ones so they spot them easier.
But how now? When you were tossing that, how would you know that the marshmallows are okay for their system? I would be able to just like we have the wild ducks.
Good point.
Hey, Bonnie.
Yeah.
Can you eat a marshmallow?
I can, but I don't have the insides
Let me
of
put
a
it to you
gator.
this way: a gator eats everything that you can eat.
Yeah. And
Okay.
did you study
You
that,
think
or do you
about
know
it.
that for a fact?
They eat chicken. They eat any kind of meat product, and they
What about if you get a gator?
I feed them avocados.
Yeah, throw me some peas and corn, please.
Right? I mean, you get a
There you
vegetarian
go.
gator, and you can't feed the gator steak or chicken. My gosh.
Did you take
Yeah,
one of the
that's-
gators to the California restaurant
No,
with you?
no, that was the night before. That was the night before.
Dress the gator up in
I
some
gotta
cool.
give Rachel credit though; she's got some chutzpah. Ooh,
Yeah.
ain't no way you get me on the back of no gator.
No, and I'll
It'd be my luck. That's the one that just got loose. It never happens here. Oh yeah, it'll happen when Jeff's on his back.
Have you seen any big ones at your golf course lately?
No, we don't have that many out here at Piper's Landing at all, hardly.
I'm sure, if they see one, they're pretty much removed all of a sudden, right?
Yeah, well, they have the what do you call it? The gator trapper people.
Uh-huh.
And there's a lot of dog walking going around up here, and it's like if a gator's spotted, they get that gator out of there pretty quick.
Our
And
friend,
our lakes are all connected to. They're not connected to any main lakes.
Our friend Ray Thomas up at our sister station said that I think he lives on a canal, and he said it's in Port St. Lucie, and he said he saw some pretty big gators out there lately.
Well,
there's
they're probably coming up out of hibernation. The thing that's got to be worried about is don't get hit in the head by an iguana falling out of a tree.
That's right.
Oh
Because what
yeah,
happens is-
that's right.
I bet that they have a Lake Worth golf course down there in Lake Worth, Florida, that used to have these trees full of iguanas. I mean, full of them. I mean, you can't move your eyes an inch and not see them.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, when it gets cold like this, they start falling out of the trees like boom, boom.
I would be freaked out if an iguana fell on my head. Man, I would be freaked out and running.
I'd be making sure I wouldn't go under a tree for a while.
Yeah.
Jeez. Hey, Jeff, I just texted you the photos that I shared with Bonnie.
Oh, super.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
sent
I'll
those to you.
catch you guys later. I don't want to tie your lines up. too long.
Have a great day, Jeff. Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
You too, big guy. Take care.
Bye-bye now. So Bonnie, would you hold a gator?
Yeah, I would.
Would you?
Sure.
Aw.
I'm a wildlife kind of girl.
Okay.
I would be careful and, do it in the right
Yeah.
circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love my animals, but, you got to take
What
precaution.
about a snake? What about a boa?
I wouldn't want to.
No?
I'd,
Okay.
I'd be afraid he'd wrap himself around me and
Okay.
squeeze me to death.
That's they actually brought out a boa in one of the shows that we saw, and the lady held the boa.
That's a
And
pretty big one,
yeah, it
no?
was pretty big, and you can see the boa
Yeah.
wrap around the girl's body,
Ooh,
but it
gosh.
didn't constrict or
Uh-huh.
anything like
It
that.
must have liked her then.
I guess. I don't know.
It wanted to hold off.
Maybe she was a charmer, like a snake charmer. Who knows?
It was a little bit smaller than the python, though, right?
Mhm.
Those pythons get pretty big.
Yeah, they were
Remember
definitely
that?
so.
Remember that story they discovered? Wasn't there a huge python crawling around the streets of Vero Beach at one time?
I don't
Like they
remember.
found it right on slithering down a city street, but a huge python.
I don't remember.
I think that was about 5 years back or
Mm.
so. I just
Okay.
kind of remember hearing, but that'd be a freak.
All
You
right.
look outside your door in Port St. Lucie and you see this
Right?
python
Right?
slithering down your street.
I wonder if I could get a hold of somebody to come in here from a wildlife sanctuary nearby or
Ooh,
something
yeah.
that could bring like a baby gator in here
Oh,
on the
yeah.
radio with us,
That'd be so
with its
much
mouth shut, of course.
So much fun.
That would be really
no,
cool.
we would have to unhinge the mouth because
No!
he might have something to say on the radio.
No. We're not having an unhinged mouth in this studio. It's just not going to happen. It is 6:47. It's time for news brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Bonnie is standing by with the morning headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
And good morning, Evan. The Bucks' bid to repeat as Super Bowl champs is over. A field goal as time expired lifted the LA Rams to a 30-27 victory at Tampa. Bucks head coach Bruce Arians.
Really, really proud of the comeback, not the finish, but can't say enough about all of them. We got the guys that stepped in and stepped up, all the receivers and DBs and everybody else this year that were a part of this journey. And
Tampa Bay winds up with a record of 14-5. A luxury cruise ship bound for Miami is now in the Bahamas to evade an arrest warrant over unpaid fuel bills. The Crystal Symphony was scheduled to dock on Saturday, but diverted when the warrant went out. Crystal Cruises is being sued by a fuel company for $4 million. An IRS worker shortage, a huge workload from administering pandemic-related programs, and stalled legislation that would have given the agency billions of dollars for more expeditiously processing returns will combine to cause taxpayers pain this filing season. Agency officials are already warning filers that in many areas we are unable to deliver the amount of service and enforcement that our taxpayers and tax system deserves and needs, as IRS Commissioner Chuck Rettig put in earlier in the month. Delays in processing are to be expected, especially because the IRS says it's still working through 2020 tax returns. It's unclear whether this year the agency will offer extended deadlines. The U.S. Army is offering its largest bonus ever for new recruits. Sergeant First Class Stephen Gibson is a Florida recruitment station commander.
With as little experience as a high school student, could get up to 50 for joining active duty, or up to 20 to serve.
Gibson says that previously enlisted incentives for full-time soldiers could not exceed $40,000. Some valuable cargo from the International Space Station is expected to land near the Florida Panhandle today. The SpaceX Dragon capsule should splash down in the Gulf off Panama City this afternoon. The capsule began its trip yesterday morning. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is closing the books on the Gabby Petito case after agents reviewed a notebook where Brian Laundrie claimed responsibility for her death, and further investigation found no one else involved. All logical investigative steps have been concluded in this case, FBI Director in Denver, Division Special Agent in charge Michael Snyder said in a prepared statement released Friday. The investigation did not identify any other individuals other than Brian Laundrie directly involved in the tragic death of Gabby Petito. The notebook was found with Laundrie's skeletal remains on October 20 after floodwaters in the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park receded. Along with the notebook, investigators found a backpack and a revolver. Lastly, if you looked in your email spam right now, you probably have a message about how you've won money or are entitled to something because they're just waiting for some fool to believe it. Well, this woman in Michigan named Laura Spears was looking through her spam folder for a missing email from a friend, and she came across a notification that she'd won the lottery, and it was legit. But it wasn't totally random. Laura had purchased a Mega Millions ticket on the Michigan Lottery website for a drawing 3 weeks ago. She matched 5 numbers to win $1 million, and she had the Megaplier to multiply her prize by 3. So, Evan, I'm feeling very sad.
I know.
This morning.
I know.
It's
And I really want to just coddle you and hold you because of this.
It's a horrible day for Green Bay Packer fans. And, I'm making it through somehow. A tissue, please.
Yes.
Because in the NBA playoffs, the 49ers upset the Packers.
49ers have never led in this game, and this will be a 45-yard try by Robbie Gould to send the 49ers to the NFC Championship game. Down the middle, and good! 49ers win it! San Francisco is moving on with a 13-10 win here at Lambeau, and this crowd is stunned.
Not as stunned as I was on Saturday night.
Are you still depressed?
I'm telling you. But now that Aaron Rodgers is out of the postseason, everybody wants to know what his future holds. Will he return to Green Bay, seek a trade, retire? He hasn't decided anything yet. But one thing he did say is that he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild. And our
I remember that one.
Yeah. Our news time. It'll be interesting to see if he's back with the Pack for another year of the attack, where the Pack will be back.
You're just a poet. You don't know it today.
I have a fever this morning.
Oh my gosh, you're turning a little green on me.
It's all that Gator talk.
There you go.
It's 7:52 right now. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
6:54 right now is the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie?
There is an accident way to the south of us. It's on the turnpike down in West Palm Beach on mile marker 98, but it is southbound. So if you're heading in that direction, there is a vehicle crash with no roadblock from that accident. Martin County and St. Lucie County, the roads are looking nice and clear right here this morning. That's your latest look at traffic. It's 41 degrees this morning in Stuart, and in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it's 17, partly cloudy sky. And here's more on our weather at WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls for a cold start to your Monday morning. Temperatures starting off in the 30s and low 40s under mostly clear skies and some patchy fog mainly inland. A frost advisory remains in place for Okeechobee County until 8 a.m. This afternoon, highs in the low to mid 60s with plenty of sunshine. Tomorrow, morning temperatures in the upper 40s, afternoon highs in the low 70s, increasing clouds throughout the day, then late day showers possible, continuing overnight. Wednesday, an area of low pressure moves across the area, sparking scattered showers and storms, highs in the mid 70s.
I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
6:58 on the Get Up and Go show. And Bonnie, we were just talking about off air. I just could not wait to get home because it's just not the same when you don't sleep in your own bed, even though we took our pillows with us.
You know what's nice about even like you did getting a mini vacation?
Yeah.
It's like it's fun getting there, but it's like it feels like a vacation all over again when you roll into your driveway and
I
you're
know.
home, right?
I know.
I mean, whenever I'm on one, I look forward to coming home. Of course, I
Mhm.
can see my cats after not seeing them for
Right.
even if I'm a weekend away,
Right.
I'm missing them.
Right.
But it's kind of cool coming home too. And I bet you slept like a baby last
Oh my
night.
God. I did, but I still wake up 2 times in the course of an evening. But I wore my socks last night when I went to bed, thinking that it would keep, they say the temperature of your feet are supposed to regulate your body temperature.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of crap.
Oh. You didn't have enough blankets on your
No, we
your
had
upper
enough
half?
we had enough
Yeah.
blankets. I mean, I was like a cocoon, like a burrito wrapped up last night.
We had the heat on in the house
Did
last
you?
night. Did you?
Yeah, we set ours at we keep our temperature at like 74 year round.
I think we had ours at 78.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
That's
Gary
nice
said.
and warm.
The house was nice when I woke up. I'm
Nice.
thankful for it.
Yes, definitely so. Hey, we're going to take a short pause for the cause. Myself and Bonnie going to be back here right after the news on WSTU Stewart. We are Martin County's Heritage Station. Don't you dare go anywhere. Lots more fun, news, sports, traffic, and weather all together when we come back.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world, it's the award-winning, critically acclaimed Get Up and Go show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
And it's top of the morning to you on this frigid Monday morning.
It would be nice if you said thank you and helped me with the dishes.
All right, I'll help you with the dishes. Just get me some Palmolive, please.
What do you do for fun?
Well, I can't discuss that on the radio, okay?
Shut it down.
Shut it down. I can't shut it down. That means we won't be broadcasting. 7:07 this morning. Mr. Clock, would you do the honors?
It's now 7:07 a.m.
7:07, and we are off and running on a very chilly Monday morning. Bonnie, I had a little ice on my windshield this morning.
You did really.
I
Now,
did.
There was no ice on mine, and I
Okay.
was rather surprised.
Okay.
But I had to do the car warm up. I think I warmed it up for 15 to 20 minutes before
Okay.
I drove.
Okay.
I never turn on the heat in there. I don't know why I don't do that lately, but I just make sure it's warmed up. Did your tires inflate or deflate at all?
When it gets cold, the tire pressure goes down.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you gotta. I was, kind of worried with my RAV4 this morning. I
Mhm.
thought, I got in and I said, boy, I didn't really look at my tires
Mhm.
because there was a difference in those overnight temperatures where it
Mhm.
got into the 30s in Port St. Lucie even.
Yep. In fact, it shows I have this app from Ford. It shows that my tires are currently they're below what they should be because of the cold weather. Supposed to have 33 pounds per square inch, and right now they're showing 30 pounds per square inch.
Yeah. So does that mean we should go into the air compressor right away and
I don't think
and
so.
inflate them up a little bit?
I don't
Or
think so because as you drive on them and they warm up, they will increase.
nothing too dangerous,
No,
right? But
no.
seriously, I would definitely take a look at them before driving anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Like I didn't do this morning, but I kind of looked at my tires and I don't know if it's my imagination, but they're looking a little lower lately.
Okay. Well, you mean talking about the tread wear being lower or just
The inflation.
oh,
of
the inflation?
tire
Okay.
In
Do you have
general.
a pressure gauge by any chance?
I always go to the air compressors that say exact air.
Yeah.
So then you just use it and it'll do that little beeper once the pressure on your tire gets right. Like
Mhm.
usually mine's at a 32 or a 33.
Mhm.
Wait a minute, that was on the Mustang. I'm not sure what it is on the
They're
RAV4.
usually 32, 33.
Yeah.
That's a pretty generalization for the tire.
So I use that exact air, and as soon as I hear that little beep 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 beep, I know I
That
got up
means
to the
you're right at that point.
yeah. Plus, on my RAV4, it gives me a little computer reading, like a little tire thing will come up to show
Oh,
me
and your dash.
The-
Yeah, it
yeah.
shows you the PSI.
if the pressure is low.
Now, you get that little icon that shows up?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got one of those too.
Yeah,
They're actually handy.
that icon that shows up, and you get your vehicle for the first time, and you see the icon, and you don't know what the heck it is.
I know, right? You get in panic mode, you pull over, you get the manual out that is about as thick as the Webster
Yeah,
dictionary,
yeah, that's
and you
right.
start going through the pages.
Uh-huh.
Okay, where's this icon at? Where is
Where
it?
are
Where
those
is it?
little
Where
And
right?
what does this symbol mean?
Right, exactly. I hate that. I really do. That just drives me nuts.
It kind of you kind of get that little alarm going off whenever you see the symbol come up on your panel.
Mhm.
You're just like, oh no, what's this?
I know. What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, please, no, 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 no. Let's get to birthdays and anniversaries back in the day. I just looked at today's date. I can't believe January is almost gone. I'm like, where did the time go by?
Yeah, we were just celebrating New Year's Eve, just yesterday.
I know.
It seems like we celebrated.
I know. January 24th is today's date, and if you're celebrating a birthday, then you have every right to put yourself on a pedestal, right?
Absolutely so.
What do you have for me over there?
Wishing happy birthday to Neil Diamond. I guess I'll say happy birthday to him because he was like my mom's favorite
Oh,
singer.
he's so good.
Oh yeah, have you ever seen him in concert? I
No.
was wondering if you would have.
I hear he's phenomenal.
bet he is. Yeah.
You know what song comes to mind when you mention his name?
America?
Well, that's one. Sweet Caroline.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one that like everybody sings along to.
Yeah, it's probably like his own, best well-known song.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is Forever in Blue Jeans.
That's a good one.
I just kind of like that tune. I'll play it in my kitchen sometime and kind of snap my fingers to
Put
it.
your blue jeans on.
Yeah. And Neil was born in 1941. So that would make him, let's see, my mom being born in 1933. He was, 8 years older than my mom?
Yes.
He is 8 years older than my mom, or if my mom were still alive. But yeah.
Wow. So how old is Neil Diamond? He was born in what now?
1941. It says
41,
he
50,
was born
60, 70, 80, 90, 01, 11, 21.
He'd be about.
There's no way he's 82
He might
years
be
old.
80 or 82.
No way.
Yeah.
He doesn't look it.
Because my mom would have been 89 coming up this May. Yeah. Neil Diamond, I think 82 years old.
81.
I should say years young.
Wow.
Now 81 is the new 71.
Wow.
Or 61 if you like that.
They say that Parkinson's has ended his touring career.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that he had Parkinson's.
Yeah, he's got Parkinson's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Terrible.
When I was a little girl, my mom took me to see the jazz singer and at the movie theater. She loved him so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've got some birthdays for you. Misha Barton is 36. That's Marissa Cooper on the OC.
I still watch that.
Do you really?
I'm still into the OC. I'm
Okay.
now I'm going back to 2004 or 2005 when I watch it. That's when it came out, that series. But it does enthrall the test of time. It's lasting.
Wow.
And I think I'm on season 4 right now. And Misha Barton, actually, she left the show early. I mean, she was on for a couple of really good seasons and really good in it, but she decided to leave the show. She said that she had said that some of the, she was just getting a hard pressure and hard times from some of the male actors.
Wow.
Whether or not, I don't know, but that's just why she said the reason was that she left.
Bonnie the Sweetheart from the 1984 Summer Olympics in LA, Mary Lou Retton. She's 54 years old.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, how's that one?
Mary
54, little Mary Lou Retton.
Oh, yeah. Did she play Tiny Tim in something?
No.
No.
Yeah, she's tipping through the tulips.
I'm thinking of Groundhog Day.
No, that's what she looks like today.
Let's see.
There you go. Look at that. Still looks cute as a speckled pup under a Christmas tree.
I like. Is that a real tan in that picture?
I don't know.
Look how bronze she looks.
She looks great though.
Yeah.
She looks fantastic.
I used to like Dorothy Hamill too.
Oh, she's another good one.
She's a cutie. Oh
Yeah.
man, is she a cutie too with that little Dorothy Hamill hairstyle she used to wear. And not everybody can get away with wearing that kind of hairstyle, but she just has that cute face about her.
Yakov Smirnoff. Sounds like a bottle of vodka that we would drink.
I think Smirnoff is a vodka. Or
it is.
Yeah.
You're right, 100%. You're 100% right. Well, Yakov Smirnoff is 71 years old today. He's a Russian genius known for, quote, what a country. Aaron Neville is 81. Remember the Neville brothers?
What did Aaron Neville perform?
Tell It Like It Is.
Oh, right. Yes, he did.
The Linda Ronstadt duet. Also, Don't Know Much.
I don't know much, but I know I love you.
Right. And the remake of Everybody Plays a Fool.
Yeah, he had some very nice songs. Some nice, they kind of put you in a good kind of mood. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
That kind of mood. And this next guy is celebrating a birthday. As soon as this commercial goes by, I'm going to play it, and then you should be able to know exactly who it is.
Is it a Name That Tune?
Hello, everyone. This is your Action News reporter with all the news that is news across the nation on the scene at the supermarket. There seems to have been some disturbance here. Pardon me, sir. Did you see what happened?
Yeah, I did. I was
Yeah, I
standing
did.
over there by the tomatoes, and here he comes, running through the pole beans, through the fruits and vegetables.
I know
naked
you
as a
remember this
jaybird.
one, Bonnie.
And I hollered over to Ethel.
It'll
I said,
play in a minute.
Don't look, Ethel. And it's too late. She'd already been in the scenes.
Here comes Dago,
Boogie Dad, Boogie Dad.
Come on.
and he ain't wearing no clothes.
Well, yes, they call him the street.
Remember that one? There you go.
Oh, Ray Stevens.
Yes.
Okay. At first, I thought you were
Yeah.
playing something like someone like from Larry the Cable Guy or something.
It did sound like Larry the
It did,
Cable Guy.
yeah.
Well, Ray Stevens is 83 years old today. 83 years old today. He's up there with Neil
Wow.
Diamond in age.
Yeah. Yeah, those
Wow.
boys, they're really getting up there.
Unbelievable. Let's go back in the day now,
Well,
if we could.
We'll go back with American lawyer and civil rights activist Thurgood Marshall, who was the first African American to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court, died at age 84 on this date,
Oh,
and
wow.
that year was 1993.
Mhm.
There was an execution in 1989 with a well-known American serial killer, Ted Bundy, who confessed to murdering 30 women. Though many believe the number to be much higher, was executed at age 42, and that was on this date in 1989.
Oh, wow.
Steve Jobs introducing Apple's revolutionary computer Macintosh on this date in 1984.
Mhm.
He introduced it 2 days after the groundbreaking commercial aired before a national TV audience and heralded the product's impending release.
Mhm.
Evan, wouldn't you just like to be one of those people in one of those tech audiences where they're going to unleash something great?
Yes.
And be
I would
there?
love to be at one of those those Apple reveals where they're they're getting ready to reveal like the new latest and greatest iPhone or iPad, and to sit in the audience and watch it. That would be so cool.
And for them to reveal that they're going to provide one too for everybody in the audience.
I know, that would be
day.
even cooler. It's like Oprah Winfrey. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Everybody gets a car.
That would be even more amazing,
Yeah.
right? We'll do one more because
right.
there is gold in them hills. In 1848, carpenter James Marshall found nuggets of gold in California's American River near the site of a sawmill he was building for John Sutter, ushering in a gold rush. 1848.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, today is, believe it or not, you were talking about computers and things like that. It's Macintosh Computer Day.
All right.
How about that one?
Yeah.
Kind of goes along with your back in the day there.
As it should be, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Macintosh Computer Day. It's also Community Manager Appreciation Day. Whatever that means. Community Manager Appreciation Day.
Well, we can appreciate maybe like people like Taryn Krista,
Mhm.
maybe because you know how well she
Yeah, there you
manages
go.
Martin County and
There you
our
go.
administrator, and
Mhm.
yeah, so we can appreciate her and the likes of other people.
Now, for all of those that like that adult beverage at 5:00,
Which
where
one?
it's 5:00. Well, a beer ski.
At
we'll
5
call it.
o'clock in the morning.
No, 5 in the evening
Oh.
when you're getting off work.
Oh, I got my
Working
time
the
screwed
9 to
up.
5. That's all right. That we can do. Some enjoy it at 5 in the morning. You
Hey,
never know.
You know, some work all night at the factory,
Mhm.
and they might enjoy a cold brew getting off at 5 a.m.
Well, it's National Beer Can Appreciation Day.
Beer can appreciation.
Day. National Beer Can Appreciation
Those
Day.
are maybe for the people who prefer cans as opposed to
A bottle.
glass bottles.
Now, which do you prefer? Are you a can girl or a bottle girl?
I don't really care as
Doesn't
long as
matter?
it's cold.
And it's bubbly,
Yeah.
right? It's not there's nothing. Have you ever had a flat beer?
Oh, I'm sure.
In your life?
I'm sure I have in the past. Not,
I hear that it's I'm not a beer drinker,
No.
but I hear there's nothing worse than a flat beer.
and it makes you burp. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm too much of a lady. I'm not going to do it on
No,
the air.
please don't. Please don't do that.
I don't know. One of these mornings, you might hear me come out with a big belch.
Oh, boy.
I'm not really sure. I can never say that I won't. But
If you
I'll try not
were to do that, I think I'd probably wet my pants right on the air. It would be hysterical. It's National Compliment Day, so make sure and compliment somebody. So, Bonnie, I'm
Yeah.
going to give you your compliment for today.
All right.
And today's compliment is that jacket looks very nice on you today.
Thank you.
There you go.
And like I mentioned, the blue of New York
Oh, my
Mets
Mets.
that
Yeah.
you're sporting.
This sweater's really warm. I got this years ago from the
Oh.
Mets organization.
It looks
when I started
comfortable,
there.
like
It's really comfortable.
soft. I
And
bet
it's got like
soft.
some pockets here in the side.
Yeah.
Where you put your hands.
Yeah.
But it is very warm.
Like my new coat here too
Yeah.
has some nice pockets. Look at this. Look at there.
Let me see. Oh, wow. So you and I both have like hand warmers built right in for everything.
Yeah.
Okay. I like
I
that.
gotta say, I love this jacket. I'm glad I bought it now that I get to wear it. I only paid $40 for it at
That's it?
Burlington's. Can you believe?
Let me see your arm a minute.
Yeah.
Is that real leather?
It's not.
It seems like
But I
it.
think the jacket looks real classy, so that's why I bought it.
Okay. Well, I like it. It's a
Thanks.
classy jacket for a classy radio show host. There you go. And on that note, it's National Lobster Thermidor Day. Get your
Thermidor?
knives and forks ready because you're about to crave some succulent lobster thermidor. Bonnie,
Thermidor.
I had lobster bisque over the weekend.
Wow.
Before my main course the other night.
Oh.
I wanted to try something and go out of the norm.
Sure.
Out of my comfort zone.
Are you glad that you did?
I am. It was really good. I was blown away that how good the lobster bisque was.
And you had it at a fancy restaurant.
Mhm.
I'll tell you what's good too. The Panera Bread lobster bisque. If you
Good?
ever find it, yeah, it's
All
as
right.
good.
I'm gonna
and
try
that-
it.
The broccoli cheese soup. But
Oh, now you're barking up my tree.
yeah.
Yes.
But you know who also does a good Progressive in the can does a good broccoli cheese
I'll
soup.
have to try that.
That's really adequate.
I will have to definitely try that.
And the Campbell's soups now, is it Campbell's?
Mhm.
There's some really good soup at Publix. You can buy one, get one free.
Mm.
And we had some over the weekend, and Gary just loved the chicken pot pie soup
Mhm.
from Campbell's.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I wish I would have taken with me was hot chocolate to the theme
Oh,
park.
yeah.
Like a gallon of it.
You should carry
Man,
it around like in a
coulda
flask, right?
I could have used that all weekend. Like, it was so cold. Oh my gosh. Could use some hot chocolate this morning. I actually thought about bringing some in for both of us, but unfortunately, I like my hot chocolate with milk and not water mixed into it. A little different because it makes it more creamy.
I see.
There you go. 7:23 right now. It's news time. Let's go right to the news desk. Bonnie's standing by with the morning headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. The U.S. Army is offering its largest bonus ever for new recruits. Sergeant First Class Stephen Gibson is a Florida recruitment station commander.
Even just somebody with as little experience as a high school student could get up to $50,000 as an enlistment bonus for joining active duty, or up to $20,000 for doing the reserve.
Gibson says that previously enlistment incentives for full-time soldiers could not exceed $40,000. Some valuable cargo from the International Space Station is expected to land near the Florida Panhandle today. The SpaceX Dragon capsule should splash down in the Gulf off Panama City this afternoon. The capsule began its trip yesterday morning. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is closing the books on the Gabby Petito case after agents reviewed a notebook where Brian Laundrie claimed responsibility for her death, and further investigation found no one else. All logical investigative steps have been concluded in this case, FBI Denver Division Special Agent in Charge Michael Snyder said in a prepared statement released Friday. The investigation did not identify any other individuals other than Brian Laundrie directly involved in the tragic death of Gabby Petito. The notebook was found with Laundrie's skeletal remains on October 20th after floodwaters in the Mayakacachi Creek Environmental Park receded. Along with the notebook, investigators found a backpack and revolver. Miami Beach police are looking to find who's behind anti-Semitic flyers posted around the city. The flyers some residents found outside their homes yesterday state every single aspect of the COVID agenda is Jewish. Lastly, a spokesman said Arnold Schwarzenegger was fine after being involved in a car crash that sent a woman to the hospital with minor injuries. The 74-year-old California governor was driving a GMC Yukon that was among 4 vehicles involved in Friday's wreck in the Brentwood section of Los Angeles. The statement from the LAPD said neither alcohol or drugs are suspected as a factor in this collision, but it did not mention the cause of the crash. Schwarzenegger was not injured and stayed at the scene, spokesman Daniel Ketchel said on Saturday. This may very well go down as the most exciting weekend of football ever. And there were only 4 games, but 3 of them were won on last-second field goals, and the 4th was driven into overtime. And there were some legit upsets along the way. Here's the rundown. It started Saturday when the Cincinnati Bengals went to Tennessee and eliminated the Titans by a score of 19-16. Then the San Francisco 49ers beat the Green Bay Packers by a score of 13-10. And now that Aaron Rodgers is out of the postseason, everybody wants to know what his future holds. Will he return to Green Bay, seek a trade, maybe retire? He hasn't decided anything yet. Well, one thing he did say is that he doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild. And only one team favored to win, the Kansas City Chiefs, and Tampa Bay was defeated by the Rams. News time is 7:27, and we'll have weather and traffic together for you next.
$7:27 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie, how's it looking outside?
Well, Evan, we're just bringing up the latest traffic report. It's looking good on our highways. Nothing to report right here. The major highways looking nicely up to speed on a Monday morning, and everything clear up and down US 1. That is northbound and southbound for us. And that is your latest look at traffic. A clear sky. We're only at 40 degrees this morning in Stuart, and in Spa, Belgium, it's also a clear 40 degrees. And here's more on the forecast at WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls for a cold start to your Monday morning. Temperatures starting off in the 40s under mostly clear skies and some patchy fog, mainly inland. A frost advisory remains in place for Okeechobee County until 8 a.m. This afternoon, highs in the low to mid 60s with plenty of sunshine. Tomorrow, morning temperatures in the upper 40s, afternoon highs in the low 70s, increasing clouds throughout the day, then late day showers possible, continuing overnight. Wednesday, an area of low pressure moves across the area, sparking scattered showers and storms, highs in the mid 70s.
I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
This is not headline news. Fans who bought tickets to see Adele in Las Vegas Friday night were angry and disappointed to learn the show is canceled. Just what Adele fans need. More reasons to cry. Arnold Schwarzenegger was involved in a multi-car crash in Los Angeles on Friday. Luckily, he had on his seatbelt, proof that he sometimes does wear protection. A robot vacuum cleaner escaped from a Travelodge in England. It's cool to know that they're making robot vacuums smart enough to know to get the heck out of a Travelodge. And it's officially tax season. It's like pumpkin spice latte season, but even more annoying. This is not headline news.
From not headline news to the stupid stuff.
And now it's time for Stupid News.
It's so stupid and awesome.
Where we ask the important questions.
Are some people too stupid to live?
Why are people so stupid?
All right, so we're going to start out here in the Sunshine State, Bonnie, in
All right.
Florida.
Very close to where we are.
Yeah, where it's cold.
I wonder if there's a part of Florida this morning that's not so cold.
I don't know. I'm curious what the temperature is like up in Pensacola or Jacksonville. It's got to be in the 20s.
As you're doing that, I'll find
All right,
out.
I knew you would. That was
kinda-
just a subtle hint.
I'm kind of curious, too.
All right. Well, 2 female roommates in Florida were arrested this past Monday after allegedly perpetrating a glitter attack on a male victim.
A glitter attack.
A glitter attack.
Is that like a glitter eyeshadow like I wear sometimes?
Just major glitter. According to police, 29-year-old Sarah Franks and 27-year-old Caitlin O'Donovan were outside the man's residence at about 3 o'clock in the morning and began arguing with him while he was standing on his fenced balcony. Now, it's unclear what they were arguing about, but they began throwing glitter at the man. One of the women jumped the fence and even threw more glitter. Then she made her way into his apartment, opened his front door so the other woman could enter, and then they threw even more glitter on the guy.
Oh, and that glitter is messy. Did he have carpeting?
Yep. So they ran
Oh.
off, but the police later found them, and they knew they found the right women because there was a trail of glitter leading to the vehicle.
Yeah.
Both roommates were hit with a felony charge of burglary and assault and battery.
I wonder if they were like on their way home from the strip club, these two ladies.
I don't know.
Or I wonder how much glitter they had in their possession.
Maybe their name was the Glitter Girls.
The Glitter Girls, yes. That would be a cute name for an
Yes.
all-girl band.
Let's go to your state, your home state. We're going to go to Wisconsin. We haven't gone there in a while.
Yeah.
Because there's never really stupid news that comes out of Wisconsin.
Oh, trust me, there's a lot of stupid news
Well,
that can come out of there.
There's a guy in Wisconsin who got caught driving drunk early Sunday morning while his wife was with him, who is 40-year-old Sarah Stowell. Now, it happened in a town called Boscobel.
Boscobel, I think.
Does that sound familiar?
I don't really know where that one is, where that town
70
is.
miles west of Madison, right near the Iowa border.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
if that gives you a general, I don't know.
That gives me a great idea.
Okay.
'Cause I lived in Madison.
Okay. While he was being arrested, Sarah decided to go home. So she jumped into the driver's seat and drove off in the vehicle, hopped a curb, and crashed into a utility pole. It turned out she'd also been drinking
Oh,
and was
yeah.
over the limit. So right after he got arrested for drunk driving, she did as well.
They both did. Are these man and wife? They're
Yes.
a man and wife, and incredible.
Yes.
Now who's going to be driving the other one to work?
Well, luckily, she wasn't hurt in the crash, but their car was damaged enough that it wasn't drivable and had to be towed. They're both facing separate charges for operating a vehicle while intoxicated. Police officers were going through the vehicle for personal belongings.
Don't tell me they found something. Don't tell me. You want a dead body?
No.
Oh, thank goodness,
Keep
not
going.
a dead body.
Keep going.
Some drug paraphernalia.
Nope. Keep
No.
going. This is kind of gross.
They found some empty vodka bottles.
Nope. They found
a decomposing deer.
no.
Something like you might find up there.
They found a used condom on the driver's
Oh,
seat.
gee.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes,
And the plot thickens.
And they put it in a little Ziploc baggie for evidence.
Wow.
Yep. There you go. Yep. Only in Wisconsin, right?
They had to bring that little detail into that, didn't they?
Sure did. That's right.
But now they're both going to be having to call an Uber. Boy, their life is going to be hell for the next.
Oh, yes.
I mean, if they
Needless to say.
if they both keep down jobs and
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, definitely.
Good gosh, what were they thinking?
I have no idea. Anyway, Mobile, Alabama police pulled over a 60-year-old dragging a set of metal stadium bleachers behind his car recently in the middle of the day.
He's the bleacher king.
Yeah. Pulled him over. He was dragging bleachers.
Come on over to the bleacher king. Come on over here.
Authorities determined that the bleachers belonged in a park about a mile away from where they pulled the man over. A crew returned the bleachers to the park while the man was booked into the county jail. Had he not...
He must have had one of those heavy duty trucks to pull a set of bleachers.
I don't know, but why in God's name would you just hook up a rope to a set of bleachers and decide to go driving down the main drag?
I don't know. He needed them maybe for some sort of reason.
Maybe he needed
really
furniture. Didn't have any furniture, couch to sit on in his house.
Yeah,
Who
maybe
knows?
he wanted to put up a stadium in his backyard or something.
Man, let's go to Nevada, or some people call it Nevada. How would you say it? Nevada or
I've
Nevada?
always said Nevada.
Nevada?
Uh-huh.
All
I
right.
don't know if it's wrong or right.
Okay.
I have heard Nevada before.
Tomato.
And, Oregon. I say Oregon. I don't know.
Some people say Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like Oregon,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
That's
but
a good one.
I do the Oregon when
Very good.
weird.
All right. No, not weird. Not weird. That's the Wisconsin way of
It's
saying
weird
it.
how, people say different things different ways.
This is true. A 57-year-old man in Nevada, or for those of you that say Nevada, with a suspended license was pulled over recently driving a Toyota Tundra, but decided to speed away from police as he was being pulled over. After the police followed him for 3 miles, he pulled into a casino parking garage. When he came out of the parking garage in a Chevrolet Avalanche, they again pulled him over. In that truck, they found a dismembered body in a garbage bag, as well as the weapon used to kill the person.
Oh, good gosh.
His attorney says that the 57-year-old is a hapless car thief, and the body was already in the vehicle when he stole the vehicle.
Oh my gosh. It sounds like something right out of The Hangover.
Well, the justice system will have to sort out all the details and the stupidity level of this guy driving with a suspended license, car theft, and possibly murder.
So he steals a car and
The body was already in it.
steals a car with a dead body.
Yeah. Yeah. Steals a car with a dead body.
It doesn't sound too lucky then. I would
No.
hate to see his gambling skills.
He doesn't have a very good noggin on his head.
Mm.
That's for sure. But I know that if I were to steal a vehicle, I'd make sure there's not a dead body.
You would think you might be smelling it after. I guess it depends how long the body would be
Yeah,
in there.
that's
I don't
true.
know. It'd be an awful smell coming through the exhaust.
At least there's not a dead gator in it or something. Hi, good morning. You're on the radio.
This is Palm City, your buddy Charlie.
Good morning, Charlie.
At least there wasn't a used condom on this driver's seat.
This is true.
It might be better than a dead body, however.
Yes.
I
You
think I would.
definitely would smell a dead body, Bonnie.
I think I
within
would
a
prefer
No problem.
that used condom being on that car seat any day.
Well,
than a-
Charlie, I think you'll like this next story we're going to tell people about. It's Albert Zakharov. He's an artist from the Russian Federation's Tatarstan Autonomous Republic.
Tatarstan Autonomous Republic. Say that 10 times, right?
Okay.
Huh.
He's an artist from the Russian Federation's Tatarstan Autonomous Republic who has an original controversial painting technique. Oh boy. You ready for this?
But has to do with something he's using for the paint, right?
He has a very unique painting technique.
Does he use blood?
No.
People's blood?
Nope.
No.
He uses, you ready?
Okay.
You ready for it? He uses women's naked bodies as his paintbrushes.
What?
Yes. What he does, he started first, let me say this. Albert started drawing and painting at a very early age and spent much of his childhood preparing for art school. After studying with an excellent teacher for a couple of months in the 10th grade, he picked up the necessary knowledge to get admitted into an art school where he quietly studied the basics while experimenting with all sorts of unusual techniques and mediums. Now, he never graduated from the art school, but it was there that he first used a woman's body to paint on a canvas. And it was this experience that inspired him to make this technique his very own. So
Now,
what he does,
yeah.
this is how he does it. Because I
Okay.
know this, and I was very curious.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
How does he do this?
I'm thinking a woman's naked body shaped like a paintbrush or your utensil, like
Mhm.
a miniature with a woman's body shape.
What he does, he dips the woman's buttocks area and her chest area in paint and then rubs them against a canvas to create his own art.
That's really sexist. Now, are these little miniature shaped like naked women, like little pencils?
No, this
utensils?
is human being. This
Human.
is a human being.
And what a woman
A
would
life-size human being.
what woman would participate in this?
I don't
where's
know.
this at? In
this
Russia?
is in Russia.
Huh?
This is in Russia.
This is crazy.
Yes. What
Sounds crazy to me.
there was a picture that showed how he did this. He took 2 5-gallon cans of paint. This is no joke. This is real deal. He took 2 5-gallon cans of paint.
So they're big cans of paint.
Yeah, it's a 5-gallon. He set
Dips the women in. Dips
takes
the lady in.
he has the woman bend over
Oh my gosh, how sexist this sounds.
and take her chest
Yeah.
area, dip it into the paint. She stands upright and then moves her to the canvas and moves her around the canvas, and that's how he paints her.
And does it say what kind of paintings they're creating?
No.
Are they going to be
They
like
weren't anything I would buy.
worth some money so he can pay these women like as they should be paid with
Mm-hmm.
the most amount of money? This sounds awful and creepy.
Well, that's how it
gonna
was done.
Go as your creepy story of the day, Evan.
Well, that'll go for the creepy story of the year.
Yeah.
You know how we have weird ones for the year? Well, this one is going to take the cake for a creepy one.
I
for
would
the
say,
year.
huh?
Yeah, definitely so.
Yeah, that
without
kind
a
of
doubt.
man. Now I lost my appetite. That story's just not right.
I'm sorry, but it's just it is not right. It's not right at all, which I don't understand
it's
why.
Crazy.
I won't go into how they painted with their buttocks area because that's a whole nother level and a whole nother issue that I don't want to discuss on the radio and ruin people's breakfast.
Yeah.
So without a doubt, but
Okay.
just that's just a visual you don't want to visualize.
No, you don't.
No.
You certainly don't. My gosh.
7:45. It's news time on the Get Up and Go show, where we do not use body parts to paint on walls. I can tell you that much. News is brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin, our good friends Hawk Levy. Make sure and go and say hello to Mr. Hawk Levy. Bonnie's standing by with the morning headlines, so go ahead, Bonnie.
Thank you, Evan. With temperatures forecast to drop into the 30s in areas like Vero Beach, the need for homeless shelters is great. WPTV's Joel Lopez has more.
I try not to be out in the cold. I might freeze to death.
For people like 29-year-old Kalen Cox, he's tight on supplies. What do you have to kind of get you through the night?
A blanket and that's it.
Veterans like John Kavanaugh, who has been homeless for 38 years, he gets creative to survive.
Oh, I keep warm for years and years and years. I use laundry soap from laundromats, and I put it on my clothes, and I keep it in my pocket, and it keeps me warm.
The two are friends and say they look out for each other. But organizations like The Source in Vero Beach are also ready to roll into action with their mobile shelter.
As you know, in the Treasure Coast, public service transportation shuts down at, I think it's 6 o'clock on Saturdays, and I believe it doesn't even run on Sundays. So that's why the bus is pretty unique and pretty powerful, because that we can get to them.
The bus provides 20 sleeping pods, a bathroom, and a safe place for people to keep their belongings. And of course, on nights like tonight, a warm place out of the elements.
We really kind of designed the bus to be a 365-day shelter for people that are in need, because in Florida, any day it could be torrential weather. It could be extreme heat, and then it could be extreme cold.
The bus runs on a first-come, first-served reservation basis, and in less than a year of operation, has served over 160 people in need of shelter.
They're just people too, and they're doing whatever they can to survive.
The Source is also gearing up to launch a second mobile shelter, as well as an affordable housing complex in Sebastian, which is expected to house some 50 people. Reporting in Vero Beach, Joel Lopez, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Over for the defending champion Tampa Bay Bucks.
Down 27-3 in the second half, the Buccaneers rallied to tie the Rams 27-all late in the fourth quarter. But with 42 seconds to go, the Rams place to set up a game-winning field goal and defeat the Buccaneers 30-27 to end Tampa Bay's season. Quarterback Tom Brady afterwards.
Yeah, we're down a bunch, and a lot of guys made a bunch of different plays to get us back into it. They just made one more than us.
So it will be the Rams advancing to host the NFC Championship game against the San Francisco 49ers next weekend. Covering the Buccaneers in Tampa, I'm Jason Behringer.
And in yesterday's other divisional round playoff game, the Kansas City Chiefs outlasted the Buffalo Bills in overtime, 42-30. Former Tennessee clinic owner has been sentenced to 14 years in prison for illegally prescribing about 15,000 opioid pills to patients, including one who died. Federal prosecutors said Mark Daniel Allen, age 64, was sentenced Friday after he was convicted in September of unlawfully distributing controlled substances and maintaining a drug-involved premises, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Chattanooga said. Allen of Venice, Florida, also must serve 3 years probation. Evidence showed Allen illegally prescribed pills to 3 women with whom he had sexual relationships and to a man who later died. A Miami Beach police are looking to find who's behind anti-Semitic flyers posted around the city. The flyers some residents found outside their homes yesterday state every single aspect of the COVID agenda is Jewish. A luxury cruise ship bound for Miami is now in the Bahamas to evade an arrest warrant over unpaid fuel bills. The Crystal Symphony was scheduled to dock on Saturday, but diverted when the warrant went out. Crystal Cruises is being sued by a fuel company for $4 million. Lastly, with the weather cold, a high school football team near Pittsburgh is in the news after their weightlifting session got canceled by severe weather last week. So they went out and shoveled people's driveways instead. The coach of Bethel Park High sent out a message telling his team to shovel the driveway of someone who's elderly or disabled and to not accept any money for it. Turns out it's a tradition there for the team that dates back more than 20 years. Former Georgia wide receiver Jermaine Burton announced on Sunday that he will transfer to Alabama. The Dogs just beat the Crimson Tide in the national championship game, but Burton is switching sides after entering the transfer portal on Wednesday. Burton was second on the team in receiving yards with 197 and tied for second on the team in receiving touchdowns with 5. And in the NBA on Sunday suspended the Milwaukee Bucks' Grayson Allen for 1 game for his flagrant foul on Alex Caruso that caused a fractured wrist for the Chicago Bulls guard. The league punished Allen, who was ejected from the Bucks' 94-90 victory over the Bulls on Friday night after receiving the flagrant 2 foul for what it deemed was unnecessary and excessive contact. News time is 7:50 with weather and traffic coming up.
7:52 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie, how's it looking outside?
We're expecting just like a really nice ride if you're heading out. Traffic has been really good throughout the Treasure Coast all morning, just other than, it's feeling cold out. At least the traffic is fine. So if you have to get there by 8:30, you should arrive on time. We're not seeing any accidents for the Turnpike, I-9. If you see traffic, tell us, call us. We're at 220-9788 at 220-WSTU. In Port St. Lucie, it's only 38. And up in Pensacola, where Evan mentioned, it's 35 degrees. And here's more on our weather at WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls for start to your Monday morning. Temperatures starting off in the 30s and low 40s under mostly clear skies and some patchy fog mainly inland. A frost advisory remains in place for Okeechobee County until 8 a.m. This afternoon, highs in the low to mid 60s with plenty of sunshine. Tomorrow morning, temperatures in the upper 40s, afternoon highs in the low 70s, increasing clouds throughout the day, then late day showers possible continuing overnight. Wednesday, an area of low pressure moves across the area, sparking scattered showers and storms, highs in the mid 70s.
I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
7:56 on the Get Up and Go show. Bonnie, you know how sometimes we make phone calls and we get put on hold and things like that, and it's like press 1 for this, press 2 for that, and
it's like a three-way circus.
well, I made a phone call the other day and I recorded it, and this is what the voicemail system sounded like.
Thanks for calling. After we assist you, would you like to take a short survey about how we did? Press 1 for yes, 2 for no. You pressed 2. Are you sure about that? 1 for yes,
Are you
2
sure?
for no.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're a little too busy to let us know how we're doing.
Oh.
Will it help you to know that the people who push 2 have to wait 2 times longer? Now let me ask again. Will you take the short survey? Well, no, that's more like it. We'll be right with you.
There you go. That's what I came up with.
I think I would have hung up, I'm hanging
Yeah.
up at the first question.
An automated system with an attitude.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Unflipping believable.
I wonder how much time people waste each and every year being on one of those rotators and, waiting impatiently. I keep picturing my better half, Gary, when he's
Mhm.
calling one of those places.
Mhm.
And
What does he do? Does he have patience for that?
He doesn't. He'll pace around the house with the
Mhm.
phone in his
Mhm.
hand,
Mhm.
and the look on his face is just like, you can't forget the look on that face.
Yeah.
But how many hours a year do we spend
Yeah.
waiting for a customer service rep?
Mhm. How about one of the worst places I hate calling is my cable company. I hate calling
yeah.
Xfinity or even the cellular company, because 9 times out of 10 they're work out to people that are overseas in India or Pakistan or somewhere else, and then it's very hard to understand these people on the telephone with their accent. No disrespect to
Yeah,
them.
it's hard. It's like that takes some patience too, and you have to bend your ear a little bit and just use patience and
Yeah.
kind of wait and decipher what they're saying half
Well,
the
I've learned
time.
how to beat them at their own game, though.
You did.
Yeah, because what I do is there's a prompt that says press 6 if you'd like to cancel your service.
Oh.
So I press 6,
And then they're on with you right away.
and then it
That
routes
prompts.
me to a representative in the USA.
Oh, it does.
Yes.
Kidding.
Yes, and
Huh.
then that representative helps me with what I need.
Excellent. That's
So,
good for people to
little
know.
known secrets.
Ah,
There
6,
you
number
go.
6, right?
Well, it's not number 6, but I'm just using that as an
okay,
example.
but it'll.
But I pretend like I want to cancel.
Ah.
Anyway,
okay.
we got to not cancel the show, that's for sure, because we'll be back right after the news, right here at WSTU Stewart and Martin County's Heritage Station. Dr. John Millay from the Martin County School Board will be here momentarily.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world. It's the award-winning, critically acclaimed Get Up and Go show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
Oh, thank you very much. Hour number 3 for you and me this morning.
Think positive, think positive.
We always think positive.
How's your day going?
My day is going very good. I'm a little hungry.
Do you love lasagna like me?
Yes, I love lasagna like you. Thank you very much. 8:08 this morning. Mr. Clock, would you please certify the time?
It's now 8:08 a.m.
8:08 a.m. on the Get Up and Go show. Normally at this time, Dr. John Millay is with us on the program, but I guess he is tied up in a meeting of some sorts, Bonnie.
Yeah, it's too bad because last week we missed him too, Evan, with Martin Luther King Day going on. School was out and he didn't join us then. So yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since we heard from Dr. Millay.
Now, hopefully Zoom room pretty soon. I texted him this morning and hopefully everything is okay and he will be there.
Get an update on the Martin County School District for sure.
Lots of good things they sent over to talk about this morning, so I'm real curious. He was just recently on the Casey Ingram show last week.
Yeah, she does a great job with her show too. I really enjoy hearing the talk from Casey Ingram. She's a professional and we just love to hear her each and every week. And the Dr. Millay and Casey conversing together, that I give them an A+.
Okay, he just texted me, said he's logging on now, so I'm gonna wait for him to log in, and I'll see the message come across here momentarily. In the meantime, I have the top 5 things to not do on your honeymoon.
Oh,
if you get married, to not do on your honeymoon.
Not watch the Super Bowl. That might be one of them.
Well, pretty close.
You might not. I mean, you might not want to go on your own and watch the Super Bowl, and avoid your better half.
They say don't bring pajamas with footies on them.
Oh, yeah.
On your honeymoon. You don't want to do that. That's definitely a big turnoff. Ask your parents to come is number 4. Coming in at number 3, set up a camera on a tripod while you're on your honeymoon. Coming in at number 2, start dating again. And coming in at number 1 is don't go to Niagara Falls by yourself.
Oh, no.
If you're on your honeymoon.
No.
So you definitely don't want to do things like
or
that.
you don't want to bring your parents.
No.
I liked that one.
No.
I don't like the thought of that, bringing a parents on a honeymoon.
I can tell you one thing that our guest won't do is just go over Niagara Falls in a barrel. That's for sure. Dr. John Millay is joining us now on our Zoom line. Good morning, John. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
But you might go over Niagara Falls in an inner tube, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
Oh, no. I want to see it safely from the bank. But I do want, it's on a kind of my bucket list. I've not been up to see those, so I'd love to see it.
After watching the Olympics, I kind of want to do it on a bobsled. That looks rather fun. We can go in one. You can go in the front. I'll go in the back, Dr. Millay.
Yeah. The only thing that far is that and the Northern Lights I'd like to see. I think that'd be fantastic.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I want to live to see the Northern Lights, so I won't be going over in an inner tube.
Okay. All right. Very good. So let's get into our conversation right away. The first headline I see here is the Head Start open enrollment is all set to go for the month of February. Tell us about that.
Well, here we are planning for the 22-23 school year. So Head Start, of course, helps prepare 3- and 4-year-olds for kindergarten. It offers encouragement and support to parents as they are their children's first and foremost teachers. So you can sign them up and we start getting them prepared for school. Just remind all of our parents, if you send your child to VPK Head Start, that breakfast and lunch are included. Registration will begin February 7th and the school year begins August 10th. So that gives us time to kind of get to know your child a little bit, get you registered, get all the kinks worked out, and start that relationship. They got 12, 13 years ahead of them.
Yeah, you always feel for the little ones, on that first day of kindergarten and all, and you kind of feel for them and feel for mom and dad too, sending them off to school for that very first time. And
exactly, it's such a difference, like Evan, you can relate recently, like the high schooler.
Yeah,
you're like, get out the door. The one you're crying, then the other is
See you
like,
later.
"Could you just go already?" We know it's parents' love.
Man,
Kids know it.
I remember kindergarten, the first day of kindergarten for my oldest, and it was gut wrenching to send him off to kindergarten. It was I was like emotionally scarred because
Who was more emotional, you or Rachel?
well, I don't know because I mean at the time I had them by myself before I met Rachel when they were in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow. All right. Well, one's gone and I have the other two who were only 4 at the time.
Mhm.
They weren't ready for kindergarten yet. And then oh man.
What's
it
worse
was
though?
emotional.
And you can answer too, Dr. Molay. What do you think is worse, sending them off to kindergarten or sending the last one when the last one moves out of the house and you're empty nest?
Oh.
Which is worse?
They're both the first one's like you've never dealt with it before, and it's they're the baby and they're gone. But the other's bittersweet because you're so glad to be done, but then you realize you hope that you start a different worry when they go out on their own. But it's
Yeah. You're
I don't know.
probably
I think
you're
the
probably
younger
nagging at them like when they're home, but then when they're gone, you're probably calling them like, "Come and visit."
Yeah, I know.
When are you
Speak of the
gonna
devil,
come?
there's the phone. There's one of John's kids calling right now.
Exactly.
It's like, hey, Dad, can you come over to help me fix this?
Yes. I tell you, they grow up fast though. That's like you blink and you're starting BPK, then they're in elementary and going through middle school for those 3 years, then high school. It's quite the ride. And
Yeah.
remind all those parents that I was sharing about the Head Start, but students must be 4 years for the VPK, 4 years of age on or before September 1st. So as long as they're going to turn 4 by September 1st, that works, and they'll go in the area zone, and it's no cost. But if someone wants to do the full day, then there's a cost of $270 a month.
Okay.
But for the 3-hour half day is free.
Okay. All right. Very good. John, the survivor of the Holocaust is going to be sharing the story with the community in honor of Holocaust Remembrance Day. That's a really, really cool thing.
Yes, in honor of the Holocaust Remembrance Day, Palm City resident, Holocaust survivor Louis Schneider will share his story. Just quite remarkable. Still amazing that we have people alive that can tell that story. We think it's so far long ago, and it's not as long as we think. Rabbi Matthew Durbin of Temple Beit Hayam will provide opening remarks for this experience, and it'll take place one night only. So, we invite the community out. Mr. Schneider will speak at Jensen Beach High School at 6 o'clock, January 27th. So there's no charge to attend, but we do ask for people to RSVP to reserve seats. If not, you'll just take what's available. But we encourage people to come out. Doors open at 5:30, and tickets can be accessed via our district Facebook page. But come anyway if they don't remember to do it.
We also have Celebrate Literacy Week. That's going to be happening starting today, as a matter of fact.
Yes, all throughout the state of Florida, different school districts are celebrating Celebrate Literacy Week Florida, January 24th through the 28th. It's an annual celebration to promote literacy and excellent reading habits. If there's one thing that I would tell these new parents that are that are for newborns, even, if you're about to have a little one or you had a little one, starting them in school, what's the most important thing you can do? Of course, we know routines, make sure they get good routines, go to bed, get enough sleep. But the single most important thing is read to your child, read with your child. And once they start reading, encourage independent reading. I mean, we think sometimes once they get going, that's a school thing, but you can make it fun. You can read back and forth. Little kids, parents, when they have little ones, they sometimes get tired. Like the child wants to read the same old story week in, week out, month. It's like that's how they learn to read. They hear and they can predict words and learn through sight when they haven't learned phonics yet. So I just can't stress the importance of reading a lot. Regularly read, whether it's before bed, maybe a little bit after dinner, whatever they can squeeze in.
There was recently a 7th annual Constitution academic competition. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Our high school scholars shined during that event, and this was our 7th annual competition in partner with the Center for Constitutional Values Scholarship Fund and the YMCA of the Treasure Coast. Our district conducted the 7th annual Constitution academic competition last week. Teams of students from each of our district-operated high schools debated the U.S. Supreme Court case Miller versus Alabama before presiding judges. And we want to thank the Honorable Kathleen Roberts, who for the 19th Judicial Circuit Court, and the Honorable William Roby, the 19th Judicial Circuit Court, and Alan Forst, the 4th District Court of Appeals. So thanks, Judge Forst. The case addressed the constitutionality of enacting life sentences without parole for juveniles convicted of capital crimes. So they take these real cases there, these real events, and they talk them out and they plead. So although all the students were effective, the presiding judges were tasked with determining debate winners for each school. The winning teams earned scholarships at $250 each, and they advance to the next round of competition in April where they compete for additional scholarships. So Jensen Beach High School, we had Courtney Jones and Shay Powers. They advocated for Miller. Amelia Glover and Rachel Corte advocated for Alabama. Martin County High School, Near Goyle and Gianna Porcelli advocated for Miller. L'Oreala Firestone and Jordan Lasordo advocated for Alabama. South Fork High School, Nayona Pierre Luis and Sophie Sureth advocated for Miller, while Dawson Hawkins and Matthew Mastrosimone advocated for Alabama. So in all of those cases, the winning team, which were those teams that actually advocated for Miller in these cases, went to the next round of competition. So proud of all our students. They're learning a lot, whether they go into that field or not. They're certain understanding the importance of our Constitution, how it works.
Lastly, John, the district recognized the 2021-2022 school-related employees of the year.
That was great. And what was nice about it was back in person. We were all together. So all of our community knows, there's basically, we have our teachers that are instruction focused and taking care of our kids. And then we have everyone else that help support that. Whether if you're a para, you're in there with a paraprofessional, you're in there with the teachers, but so many of our employees, whether you're a bus driver, secretary, maintenance, custodian, I mean, you name it, everybody that's really not, that's the group that we're talking about. So each school or department recognized the nomination process, their person, employee of the year, the school related employee, and then all got a little plaque, and then out of all those, so that was just quite significant. So Miss Maria Salome Martinez, a secretary at Palm City Elementary, was named the district's overall school-related employee of the year. She's a valuable member of the Palm City school community since 2017. Ms. Martinez is known for her reliability and willingness to assist her colleagues whenever needed. Her name's now submitted to the Florida Department of Ed for consideration for the statewide. So much like the Teacher of the Year goes up to the Florida State, so does this employee. So congratulations to all of them who won for their departments, and a full list of winners and pictures. Again, I can't stress, it takes an entire team to run this district, and every job's critical, every job's important, and we couldn't do it without everybody.
That's Dr. John Millay. He is the superintendent for the Martin County School System. He joins us each and every Monday morning to give us an update on things pertaining to the school system, so we can bring the information to you as parents that are listening to this program. John, always a pleasure, and we look forward to speaking with you next week.
Yes, have a great day. Take care, Bonnie.
You too, Dr. Millay. Stay warm.
Yeah, hey, it's cool out there, isn't it?
It is.
This was truly, to me, the first real cold day since I've been here. Like last year, 50 or 49, but this felt cool.
Yep, you can wear your long johns to school now. A good excuse to do it.
someone said, "Oh, we wear our jackets." I'm like, I'm not going that far. I can't do that. I'm loving this little burst of cool. It's kind of nice. It's sun shining and
Yeah.
it heats up pretty quick out there.
And no rain. That's the nice part about
Oh
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
all good.
Have a
Sun
great
shining.
day. Yep.
You too.
All right. Take care now. Bye-bye. It's time for the Precious Metals Report. It's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Gold opening up at $1,840.80 an ounce. Silver opening up at $23.99 an ounce. That is the Precious Metals Report, and it's brought to you by our good friends at St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. On the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie, it's time for news. Let's go to the news desk. Bonnie's standing by with the headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. An IRS worker shortage, a huge workload from administering pandemic-related programs, and stalled legislation that would have given the agency billions of dollars for more expeditiously processing returns will combine to cause taxpayers pain this filing season. Agency officials are already warning filers that in many areas we are unable to deliver the amount of service and enforcement that our taxpayers and tax system deserves and needs. As IRS Commissioner Chuck Rettig put it earlier in the month, delays in are to be expected, especially because the IRS says it still is working through 2020 tax returns. It's unclear whether this year the agency will offer extended deadlines. With temperatures forecast to drop into the 30s in areas like Vero Beach, the need for homeless shelters is great. WPTV's Joel Lopez with more.
I try not to be out in the cold. I might freeze to death.
For people like 29-year-old Kalen, he's tight on supplies.
What do you have to kind of get you through the night?
A blanket and that's it.
Veterans like John Kavanaugh, who has been homeless for 38 years, he gets creative to survive.
Oh, I keep warm for years and years and years. I use laundry soap from laundromats, and I put it on my clothes, and I keep it in my pocket, and it keeps me warm.
The two are friends and say they look out for each other. But organizations like The Source in Vero Beach are also ready to roll into action with their mobile shelter.
As you know, in the Treasure Coast, public service transportation shuts down at, I think it's 6 o'clock on Saturdays, and I believe it doesn't even run on Sundays. So that's why the bus is pretty unique and pretty powerful, because that we can get to them.
The bus provides 20 sleeping pods, a bathroom, and a safe place for people to keep things. And of course, on nights like tonight, a warm place out of the elements.
We really kind of designed the bus to be a 365-day shelter. Any day, it could be torrential weather, it could be torrential rain, it could be extreme heat, and then it could be extreme cold.
The bus runs on a first-come, first-served reservation basis, and in less than a year of operation, has served over 160 people in need of shelter.
They're just people too, and they're doing whatever they can to survive.
The Source is also gearing up to launch a second mobile shelter, as well as an affordable housing complex in Sebastian, which is expected to house some 50 people. Reporting in Vero Beach, Joel Lopez, WPTV, News Channel 5.
The U.S. Army is offering its largest bonus ever for new recruits. Sergeant First Class Stephen Gibson is a Florida recruitment station commander.
Even just somebody with as little experience as a high school student could get up to $50,000 as an enlistment bonus for joining active duty, or up to $20,000 for doing the reserve.
Gibson says that previously enlistment incentives for full-time soldiers could not exceed $40,000. Some valuable cargo from the International Space Station is expected to land near the Florida Panhandle today. The SpaceX Dragon capsule should splash down in the Gulf off Panama City this afternoon. The capsule began its trip yesterday morning. A luxury cruise ship bound for Miami is now in the Bahamas to evade an arrest warrant over unpaid fuel bills. The Crystal Symphony was scheduled to dock on Saturday, but diverted went out. Crystal Cruises is being sued by a fuel company for $4 million. Lastly, two 12 and 13-year-old boys in Rhode Island recently saved 3 dogs from a fire. They heard their neighbor's smoke detectors going off and realized no one was home, got the door code from another neighbor, and got the dogs out. It turned out one of the dogs had jumped on a burner to the stove while a wood cutting board on top of it. The cutting board is toast, but good news, the house survived. The playoffs, the NFL, and the Bengals beat the Titans in a last-second field goal.
The snap, the put down, the swing of the right leg.
Yeah, baby.
It's on its way.
Yeah, baby.
It is good. Coffin nails.
Bam, bam, bam. That is unbelievable. 54 and 52 at the gun. That is unrealism right there. And the Bengals advance to the AFC Championship game.
I'm glad I picked the Cincinnati Bengals. It's kind of like a surprise. I think like 3 underdogs win, and then the only one that wasn't the underdog, the Kansas City Chiefs, pulled off an incredible overtime win over the Buffalo Bills, 42-36. And our news time at 8:29. We'll hear weather and traffic together next.
$8:30 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie?
Evan, it is a nice and clear roadway for us on a Monday morning. In Stewart, US 1 moving smoothly. Port St. Lucie, you're getting on those major highways. So far, so good. Everything up to speed north and southbound on a Monday morning. That's your latest look at traffic. And it's 41 degrees in Stewart. In Warren, Rhode Island, a clear sky and only 24. Here's our weather from WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls for a cold start to your Monday morning. Temperatures starting off in the 30s and low 40s under mostly clear skies and some patchy fog mainly inland. A frost advisory remains in place for Okeechobee County until 8 a.m. This afternoon, highs in the low to mid 60s with plenty of sunshine. Tomorrow, morning temperatures in the upper 40s, afternoon highs in the low 70s, increasing clouds throughout the day, then late day showers possible continuing overnight. Wednesday, an area of low pressure moves across the area, sparking scattered showers and storms, highs in the mid 70s.
I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
8:33 is the time right now on the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie. Without further ado, it's time for the very frigid space report. Randy Siegel, are you out of the freezer? Are you thawed out with this weather?
Well, I'm just getting
Okay.
but it's not quite there yet.
All right.
But it was 1978 that we had a nuclear accident in space. Actually, we didn't have it, but the Russians did. On their reconnaissance satellite, Cosmos 954, they were using a nuclear reactor to power that vehicle. And instead of coming back to Earth in the way they intended it, it had a breakup in orbit. The Russians were going to place the nuclear part of it into a safe orbit. However, over Canada, and during that reentry, nuclear material spread to areas in Canada. And Canada billed the Soviet Union for dollars Canadian, of which Russia eventually $3 million from it. But it was a nuclear disaster, if you will. And then it was 1985, 51C, spatial. That mission was a dedicated mission to the military. Well, busy weekend over the International Space Station. Were being worked on, and others were for return to Earth this afternoon. The Dragon spacecraft, having been delayed twice due to weather in the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean, will return home today, and that's scheduled for this evening. The astronauts on board have packed late-minute instruments on board the station, including a spacesuit for return to home. By scientists here on Earth, Mark Vander installed a protein crystal sample growth experiment on the station to be studied back here on Earth. Scientists on the ground on how to develop new materials and drugs and the impacts of weightlessness on biochemistry. The Russian cosmonauts Anton Sheplerev and Pyotr Dubrov were on spacesuits, and they also spent checking out the connections between the new Preachel module and the rest of the Russian segment, which so far looks like it's going quite well. It now appears that Russia will launch on Soyuz MS-22 Nikolai Chub. He was a backup astronaut, and now he will go to the International Space Station. We also know that Frank Rubio, another NASA astronaut, is scheduled to fly on a barter with Russia on the Soyuz spacecraft. They're going to be sending Chub to the station if he can get a visa. The U.S. has so far refused to issue a visa to Nikolai Chub, who needs 5 days at the Houston Space Center before he goes to the International Space Station. In a snafu, the U.S. has not issued that particular visa yet, and the hope is that if they can get it done quickly, he'll be able to fly into orbit in September. If not, you may see some problems between the U.S. and Russia for the first time, with astronauts or cosmonauts flying to the space station. Russia is also using a train to launch space rockets. Yep. Originally, it was a combat system, which will allow Russia to launch intercontinental ballistic missiles while riding on a train, thus making the target harder to hit if there was a problem in a war. Now they want to convert that unit to be able to launch satellites into space. The Cargo Dragon vehicle has already undocked from the International Space Station yesterday, and it will have a 10 p.m. today, splashing down in the evening. NASA will not carry the splashdown live, but you can be sure it'll be covered by others, including SpaceX. NASA hopes to begin transitioning to a commercial space station in 2028. They hope that several companies will be putting up a commercial space station beginning in 2028 and completing it by 2030, where the U.S. will be part of it. The life support mission for a trip to Mars, according to the Russians, could be ready by 2030. If they work closely with NASA and they debug the systems, including things like water, etc., they'll be in a better position. The astronauts on board the space station are also tested. Tide Infinity will allow them to clean their clothes in space without just using it a couple times and disposing of it. This will make it cleaner for them to operate and save a lot of money and time in space. The Hubble Space Telescope that's been in orbit currently, the James Webb Telescope that's in orbit, has now deployed all of the 18 primary mirror segments, and the secondary mirrors are also fully deployed. Webb has just reached its new home, the L2, the Lagrange 2 point, in space, where it seems to be hovering in one location all the time and not moving as the Earth moves around. On the people who have gone into space, there are still astronauts alive that have landed on the moon. This is out during information on Buzz Aldrin turning 92 years old and remaining a spacewalker. Aldrin was the first, along with Neil Armstrong, to walk on the moon. Others joining them that are still alive are Dave Scott, 89, Charles Duke, 86, and Apollo 17's Harrison Schmitt, 86. Tomorrow we'll tell you about the astronauts that are still alive that did not land on the moon, but orbited it. So until tomorrow, have a great day, everybody.
That's Randy Siegel with the Space Report. He's on the program each and every weekday at this time. And speaking of time, what a better time than now time to make time to go over and spend some time at Ellie's Downtown Deli.
And, Evan, the great thing about eating is it's a little bit of me time.
Mm-hmm.
It's always that me time when you can, just treat yourself to lunch or your friend at work. And if you're working right here in town, right in Stewart, Ellie's will deliver to your workplace. And you could even share with your friends some triple salad sliders. These are awesome. Don't you just love a sandwich on potato rolls? Well, these are potato rolls topped with chicken salad, egg salad, tuna salad, lettuce, tomatoes, and broccoli sprouts. And, you can get a delicious side item. Fluffy potato salad goes along with crispy, cool coleslaw as well. And you can always order fresh jumbo wraps, signature sandwiches at Ellie's Downtown Deli with a full menu available for takeout, plus their fabulous desserts as well. They have a full-service deli with dining inside and out. So have them cater your next event. Call 772-781-6605 to order and pick up. They're located at 18 Southeast 6th Street, just off Colorado in Stewart. Call them 772-781-6605. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stewart.
It is 8:43 right now on the Get Up and Go show. It's time for Final Look at News, all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Bonnie is standing by with the headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning to you once again. Well, the Bucks' bid to repeat as Super Bowl champs is over. A field goal as time expired lifted the LA Rams to a 30-27 victory at Tampa. Bucks head coach Bruce Arians.
Really, really proud of the comeback, not the finish, but can't say enough about all of them. We got the guys that stepped in and stepped up, all the receivers and DBs and everybody else this year that were a part of this journey. And
Tampa Bay winds up with a record of 14-5. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is closing the books on the Gabby Petito case after agents reviewed a notebook where Brian Laundrie claimed responsibility for her death, and further investigation found no one else was involved. The notebook was found with Laundrie's skeletal remains on October 20th after floodwaters in the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park receded. Along with the notebook, investigators found a backpack and a revolver. The U.S. Army is offering its largest bonus ever for new recruits. Sergeant First Class Stephen Gibson is in Florida Recruitment Station Commander.
Even just somebody with as little experience as a high school student could get up to $50,000 as an enlistment bonus for joining active duty, or up to $20,000 for doing the reserve.
Gibson says that previously enlisted incentives for full-time soldiers could not exceed $40,000. Miami Beach police are looking to find who's behind anti-Semitic flyers posted. The flyers some residents found outside their homes yesterday state every single aspect of the COVID agenda is Jewish. A new mural honoring Gloria and Emilio Estefan has been unveiled in Miami's Little Havana. Local artist Dizem 305 painted the giant mural depicting the power couple of Latin pop in the 1980s when they came out with smash hits such as Conga and Rhythm Is Gonna Get. Giant mural is part of a local effort by the Cole Life Foundation to partner up with local artists to improve historic neighborhoods and preserve Cuban American. A well-known costume shop on the Calle Ocho donated the wall. The foundation also recently presented another mural to salsa artist Celia Cruz, who is also Cuban. And lastly, a spokesman said Arnold Schwarzenegger was fine after being involved in a car crash that sent a woman to the hospital with minimal injuries. The 74-year-old actor and former California governor was driving a GMC Yukon that was among 4 vehicles involved in Friday's wreck in the Brentwood section of Los Angeles. The statement from the LAPD said neither alcohol or drugs are suspected as a factor in this collision, but it did not mention the cause of the crash. Schwarzenegger was not injured, and he stayed at the scene, spokesman Daniel Ketchel said on Saturday. Well, the San Francisco 49ers simply will not go away. The same Niners that were once 3-5 and headed for a long off season full of questions are now headed to the NFC Championship game for the second time in 3 seasons. To get there, San Fran had to pull out the type of late-game magic that has been a hallmark of its late-season surge to the playoffs. The result was a wild 13-10 win over the Green Bay Packers on Saturday night at Lambeau Field. And there's one thing that will make Aaron Rodgers' decision about whether to return to Green Bay next season much easier. I don't want to be part of a rebuild if I'm going to keep playing, Rodgers said. Absent that, the 38-year-old quarterback believes he has a difficult decision to make about his football future. Our news time is 8:40, and we will have weather and traffic together for you next.
8:48 the time right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for a final look at traffic and weather together. Bonnie, how's it looking?
It is looking good right here. You know, it's been that way throughout the morning, and we are still accident free right now. Your major highways nice and clear right here. US 1 looks good. You know, just kind of travel safely if you're heading out this Monday morning. And there's your latest look at traffic. 42 and 42 right now. It's 42 sunshine in Port St. Lucie, also 42 degrees in Stewart. Here's more on the weather at WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls for a cold start to your Monday morning. Temperatures starting off in the 30s and low 40s under mostly clear skies and some patchy fog mainly inland. A frost advisory remains in place for Okeechobee County until 8 a.m. This afternoon, highs in the low to mid 60s with plenty of sunshine. Tomorrow, morning temperatures in the upper 40s, afternoon highs in the low 70s, increasing clouds throughout the day, then late day showers possible, continuing overnight. Wednesday, an area of low pressure moves across the area, sparking scattered showers and storms, highs in the mid 70s.
I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Question for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
Thanks for calling. Someone will be with you shortly. Your wait time is less than 2 minutes.
Sorry about
While
that.
you wait,
Had to make
press
a call.
1 to hear classical music,
Oh.
2 to hear rock music, or 3 to hear Bach meets rock.
Jeez. The on-hold system is just brutal when I try to call somebody.
At least that one will keep you awake.
Oh.
That's kind of like a party spirit right there.
Man, that's just some brutal stuff right there.
You know, that's what I like when I'm on hold. Music that does kind of keep me awake. I don't know if I could listen to that again and again and again and again.
That was brutal. That was definitely brutal. without
Evan,
a
I'm
doubt.
looking at our Pick'em League, and
Oh, talk to me.
I gotta
Yes.
say, congratulations, going out to Bountygate, who is doing so well.
Yeah.
And maybe the listeners don't know that father and son, they're doing very well, because we have Bountygate on top, and at number 4th place is Philadelphia Freedom. Happens to be G and son.
Gee, go figure.
His
Get
son,
it? Gee, go figure.
His son Ryan on top of Lenny's Pick'em League. So
Okay.
great for G and his family and his crew.
Okay. All right. We have some. Wow, both our phone lines are ringing. So, good morning. You're on the radio.
It's so cold. I saw politicians keeping their hands in their own pockets.
God, say goodnight, Phil. Oh my God, that was awful. See you later. Talk to you later. I got to grab this other line. Bye bye. Leave it to Phil with a one-liner. Hi, good morning. You're on the radio.
That's your buddy Charlie.
Oh boy, you got a one-liner for me, real quick?
Wait. This is about call number 2, Evan.
Okay.
So the worst place to call as a veteran is the VA.
Right.
Because they put you on this line, and at the end it goes, if you're considering suicide, I wasn't until I was on hold for half an hour. Now I am.
All right.
All right.
All right. Well,
interesting phone call. Have a great,
thank you.
Great day, Evan.
All right. Stay warm. Bye-bye. All right. That's Palm City Charlie. Wow. I'm just like, all right. So anyway,
You were saying off air that you think this is going to be Tom Brady's last year.
I think so. I honestly feel that he's done. I think he's done. I really do.
Do you think he's getting like, I saw him at the end of the game, and he looked like, well, he always does, right? He had a goodness about him, like a very good losing spirit. When you lose, he was a good loser, and he handled that end in the handshaking, very, very well, because they got into the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, Tom, he wanted to do it again, but it didn't so happen with the mighty Rams, who they probably shouldn't. And you were saying off air too that the Rams probably shouldn't have won that game yesterday when they were.
No, I don't think this is just my thought.
Yeah.
I was watching the game and the Rams were kicking Tampa's butt 27-3.
Yeah. I mean, in clear fashion, they should have held on to that lead yesterday.
And then just all hell broke loose.
Yeah. And that's why Tom Brady is so great. That's why he really is the GOAT, because even though you're way, way ahead of that team, you can't let your pants fall down or anything fall down, especially when you're playing Tom Brady and team. Even if you could have a 100-point lead, and you better watch what you do with the action.
Yeah, exactly. I think New England should have won the game. That's just, I didn't want to see them win.
Yeah.
But just as poorly as the Rams played, they did not deserve to win that game.
Wow.
That's just my opinion.
Now, I think Tom is probably going to be back to play next season.
You think so?
Again. Yeah. I mean, he's married to Gazelle, You're like, what did that mean?
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
I don't know. She just looks like the kind of wife who wears some of the pants in the family.
You think she wears the pants in the family?
I think she does.
You think so?
That's probably why Tom would want to get back out and play.
That's a pretty expensive trophy wife he's got there. Yeah.
But even with a trophy wife, now, don't you think she drives him a little bit nuts once in a while? A little bit crazy? Tom says, be like, come on, I want to go back out and play with the boys. Let me go play with Gronk.
Yeah. Gronk's his pal.
Yeah.
Gronk's a big boy.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big boy. And he's a character, too.
He could eat something, huh?
Oh, man.
I mean,
take him to the Okeechobee Steakhouse and let him chow down on a 32-ounce tomahawk steak and see what happens.
He'll eat all of the fresh jumbo wraps at Ellie's Deli. There would be none left for you.
No, there would be no soup for you. No soup. No meat for you.
With the Green Bay game, this is weird. I went to sleep thinking that Green Bay had won that game. I don't know, why. When they came back so fiercely like they did with 37 seconds left to go in regular game time, and Aaron Rodgers gets that ball down the field for Crosby to kick, and the kick is good. I thought they won that thing.
Yeah.
And
I feel bad for you. I honestly, my heart bleeds for you because I know how much of a diehard Packer backer you are.
You should see some of the people up in Wisconsin. I'm not even nearly as upset as some of them.
Oh.
I would have not even wanted to be around, like, out in the bars and pubs when that moment happened.
Ooh, it had to be brutal.
I know. I'm glad I was safe down here in the
Brutal.
confines
Hey,
of my
folks,
own home watching.
that's a wrap for us. Make it a great day. God bless each and every one of you. Remember, if you have good values on the inside, you won't look for validation on the outside.
Oh, and get that new winter jacket that's waiting in the closet to wear.
Yes.
And wear it today.
Blow the dust off that damn thing.
Yeah.
Right? Just
right
like you
on.
did with that thing. You wear that, twice a year, and that's it.
Yeah, second time I could wear it this year, but I'm loving it.
All right. Very good, folks. Hey, make it a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning right here at WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station.
That's all, folks.